What the heck? I just realized that I could. Oh my goodness. That means I have to start all over. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. It was still read. It was still trying to read my. Hello, Eloise. That was embarrassing. I just pulled a professor today. I pulled a professor today. Oh my goodness. It was using. You know what happened? It was using the laptop's mic. It wasn't. It didn't recognize my Logitech microphone, and I'm sitting here just talking and realizing that I'm looking at the screen and it's not doing the whole little. Oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I guess I'll start over. UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. Uh, this is your Wolf Commander, Wolf Tamiya, here by myself today, here to talk to you guys about video game movies and the recent movie that has received a trailer that's coming out this December, Monster Hunter. I embarrassingly started the stream off. He was here, but he's here. He was here to just to give a shout out. I'll show you a shout out. Yep. So thank you guys for joining me today. You, Eloise, Danny, Spike. So glad you guys can make it. I thought I was gonna be just by myself, just talking to myself, and that is chaos. So I'm here to share my critiques of video game movies, what goes into video game movies, and the likes and dislikes, the ups and downs, the hope that will the hope that I have for the video game movie genre, and some cynicism. So what I'm gonna do to before I start, I'll list off my list of what to me myself, what I like to see in a video game movie, and what fits a video game movie, or at least what fits a video game movie to make it good. Story, characters, setting, gameplay. Um, I'll talk about my feelings about the trailer to the Monster Hunter movie that's coming out in December, and I'll talk about video game movies that I like and that I dislike, and the ones that actually met the criteria that I have. So, story would be, which story would you be adapting from a video game? Would you like adapt the story itself? What changes would you make to make the story work for a movie instead of just a video game? Characters, who are you going to be starring in this movie? Who's going to be the um the main star, the main protagonist? And we've seen a few video game movies rarely do that successfully. The setting, how you gonna set, what kind of world you're gonna set it in. Gameplay, that's a given in my book. That's not really to me. Gameplay, how would you implement the gameplay in the video game movie? That's not really, to me, that's not really a mandatory thing. It's it's nice that they add in, but it's not necessary. Style, sometimes style can go a long way, but it does kind of help the movie in its favor. It's not really needed, or at least it's not really it should not be the saving grace for a movie. What should matter is story, characters, and setting in my book. But style can go a long way. So with that being said, has the Monster Hunter movie met my criteria? To some extent. To some extent. So, for one, the story, which I'm gonna get into later, there's some light topics I want to touch upon and breeze through before I get into the heavy topics. Um, let's go with the actors. So we all know that it's going to be starring Mila Jovovich. You already know her from the Resident Evil movies, from The Fifth Element, the even I believe she was in that terrible Hellboy remake, which I saw only bits and pieces of, and I was not impressed by that movie. But she was kind of a treat in that one, kind of. It has Ti in it, which he's a hit and miss actor. He was cool in the Ant-Man films, and so far his pedigree of films is him being in mostly he mostly played a thug in most movies that I've seen him in. But I've seen that he tries to branch out. You know, he tries to spread his wings a bit. And you have Megan Good, which she has never been like my it girl, even growing up. She's been in Roll Bounce. I believe she was also in I'm trying to name high profile movies that she's been in that you guys will recognize her in. She was recently in Shazam. She was the superhero form of the little black girl in that movie. She was the superhero form of that one, which shocked the heck out of me when they all transformed into the Shazam group. I was like, Megan Good? Really? Interesting. She did a good job in that one though. I don't have no deep opinions, but my strong opinion about her is that she's never been that it girl. She's good with the material she works with, but she's never been that impressive. I was never that impressed by her growing up, and still not impressed with her now. Who else? There was another high profile actor in that group too that I recognized. Before I name her, let me also name Tony Ya from the series. He's a Muay Thai specialist. He's also branched out into other martial arts, but he's been in a lot of films, mainly the martial art films. He's had a henchman scene. He had a henchman role in I believe the one I can't I can never name the Fast movie where Paul Walker didn't finish because of, unfortunately, his untimely death. They had to use his brother for the rest of the movie. Sadly, God rest his soul. I don't like bringing up dead actors. That's kind of like in poor taste in my book. But he was a henchman in that one, definitely. He's also been in a few minor roles here and there, but his most prominent one was always Umbach. Still trying to look up the next actress because she's also a growing actress so far, and I'm seeing if I can. Computer's moving a little bit slow, so anybody want to chime in and give your thoughts? Have you guys seen the trailer yet? Because I've shared it on the Professor Geeks Facebook group. If you want to take a look at the trailer, or if you want to take a look at the screenshots here and there, give your thoughts. I'm not your daddy. I'm not holding your hand. You guys gonna do that. And Danny Spike has hit the first comment. Let's check this out. I'm gonna read your comment. I looked at the rest of the Full cast. There's only four I recognize. Yeah, I'm gonna name a few of them. The ones that I do recognize. And so far, we already uh we already know Mila Jokovic is like the high tier recognizable actress in that group. But like soon as Tony Jaa jumped in, I was like, oh, that's Tony Jaa too. Okay. Now, from what I'm seeing from the actors, it seems like she's gonna be the main star. Oh my goodness! I just realized who's directing this too. Her husband. Wow. No wonder it looks the way it does. Which I'm gonna definitely get into. No. Oh my goodness! No wonder it looks the way it does. He's the writer and director, but there's also a second writer too. Oh, the writer of the game series is also has is also working on this. No wonder yeah, like I said, no wonder it's looking the way it does. And it's hitting some of the good points and it's also hitting some of the bad points. And Paul S. Anderson is the one that's hitting the bad points. Oh, I don't oh. Oh, Ron Perlman's gonna be in here? Ron Perlman's in this. Shocking. Huh. And it's got some relative unknowns. So this one Asian lady, okay, she's probably new. I thought she was from somewhere, but I don't see no let me click on her and check. I'm on IMDb, by the way. I don't like to pause on you guys. Uh, Danny Spike is actually voicing his opinions. Let's I'm gonna read your comments a bit, Danny Spike. You're hitting some good comments. Let me see. The fact that it's Sony Pictures is the reason why this film will fail, aside from being a video game movie. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. And another one from you. Yeah. She has been in a lot of things that Paul S.W. hasn't directed. She, like I said, she's been in the Hellboy reboot, and that was not directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Trust me. She's been in quite a lot of things that he hasn't directed. It's just that yeah, we all know that we all know that she's mostly been in his movies. Oh, they got a relative unknown in here too. They have I'm gonna butcher his name. Jin Ao Yoon. No, I know I tore that name up, but he was in the Man with the Iron Fist. He was that little guy that was running around with X Blades. If you guys don't know who that is, X Blades is the guy with the knives that was like spring loaded, and then he later had he had to have the man with the iron fist, so to speak, the blacksmith to forge him a new armor with new weapons attachments. But he was the little guy that guy's neck. He had his throat ripped out by Dave Bautista's character. And we have Casey Scott doing his trademark. Hey, let me do my trademark. Hello, yo. So he's listening at work. Well, if you're gonna listen, you can throw in a few takes as well. And Danny Spike, another comment. The movie was accurate. The whole film with hunter gathering materials and killing same others 20 times, complete unarmored set. I'm laughing because I know what he's talking about. Oh boy, the many hours I put into freaking Monster Hunter just for one set of armor, dude. You ain't never lied on that one. So now that we got the actors out of the way, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've hit the points with recognizable actors. Let's go over the weapons. The weapons look good, though. I'm not too thrilled about them using modern day weaponry like machine guns, chain guns, and AR rifles and all that stuff. That that's what's really irking me the most about that movie is the fact that it looks like majority of the film they're gonna be using freaking like our worldly weapons to fight the monsters, to hunt the monsters, and like just seeing Megan Good firing a bazooka at a freaking Rathalos like that, like oh my goodness, that just looks so un-Monster Hunter like. Thank you. My wife has given me food. Thank you, dear. Love you. And yeah, it's I mean, until we see Mila using the twin dagger setup, and she's using the abilities, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So she's gonna basically just use, like, I'm guessing from what I'm predicting from the movie is that they're going to be using their normal military weapons, and most of them are probably gonna die until she finally uses the hunter weapons to finally kill these things. Yeah, Casey Scott, you can just hear me rant about this one. You that's As a matter of fact, yeah, yeah. I'll actually I'll get into that later when we get into the heavy topics section. But I'm gonna try to get through the light topics. So yeah, the weapons, yeah, that was really not working for me. And I gotta take a bite real quick. Sorry guys, I don't mean to eat. But yeah, armor. Kind of not feeling the armor that she's wearing. It doesn't really look like Monster Hunter armor. Kind of looks like your generic run of the mill video game. I'm talking about early aughts video game movie style armor. It's all got this grayish look. It got I got a good look at it. It's got a little texture to it. She's got a pauldron, on her left shoulder and everything, but it kind of I'll read your comment soon, but I'm trying to get my point across here. Like it doesn't really look much like the armor sets that you have in Monster Hunter, specifically Monster Hunter World. But Tony Ya's armor looks accurate to the game. Well, technically from what I'm looking at, he looks like he's gonna be one of the characters from Monster Hunter World. Let me look into that. IMDb's moving a bit slow, but yeah, he looks movie video game accurate. But let's go back to the weapons here. He says, "I wonder how they will explain how modern firearms won't kill the monsters, but swords, axes, and bows can." Well, here's the thing: it can be explained. Their hide, the monsters' hides can't really you like if we know by now through movie history, when you try to shoot a giant monster with a freaking AR rifle, it's not going to penetrate its hide. So of course a sword of a new world can penetrate that hide, but modern bullets won't be able to. I mean, come on. If you guys play any of the Monster Hunter games, which I've seen that Eloise have played Monster Hunter 1 and Monster Hunter 2, you could tell that these creatures' hides are thick enough to not for bullets to not penetrate. But yeah, apparently a freaking arrow can penetrate a monster's hide. But that's just how it works. Half the time, the weapons are made by the monsters, made from the monsters, from the materials from the monsters. I mean, have you seen the great swords in Monster Hunter? That thing looks like it can take a monster's head off. I mean, you put guts in that world. I'm sure you can take on all those monsters with just his sword alone. Freaking guts! Come on, man. Um, the monsters look good. Let's go into the monsters. The monsters look really good. This is far beyond Paul S.W. Anderson's BS when he adapt movies, specifically the Resident Evil movies. So far, I'm loving the way how the monsters look. The monsters look fantastic. They look video game accurate. Rathos looks great. Diablos look great. I don't know this other monster that this winged monster that they brought in that comes in and attacks them. I don't know what that creature is, but light monsters that are kind of like a part of the monster food chain. They look good too. Yeah, Danny Spike. Yeah, the weapons are quite heavy. There's a strategy to it when you hunt the monsters and use your weapons like certain weapons like the great sword and the switch axe. I'm a switch axe main, by the way, but I try to branch out sometimes. But I mostly use switch axe, which is a new weapon that they added in Monster Hunter World. I'm definitely gonna talk about the Resident Evil movies once I get over talking about the Monster Hunter movie. I'm definitely gonna be talking about a lot of video game movies that I've seen that ones I did like and ones I did not enjoy. So if you hear clicking, that's my jaw. My jaw is like it's not dislocated, but sleeping on one side of my body kind of like moved it somewhat. So like whenever time I open my mouth wide, you can hear kind of like a snap, so to speak. Nothing too serious. Hopefully, it won't be anything too serious. Um, yeah, the monsters look really good. That's probably only by virtue because there's might yeah. I can't talk right now. I believe that it's by virtue that one of the writers of Monster Hunter is on there. That's the reason why the monsters look the way they do, accurate to be more specific. Oh, Tony Jaa is just the hunter. He's not a specific hunter. That's encouraging, Anderson. Thanks a lot. He's just the hunter. Well, I can't really get mad because most of the characters in Monster Hunter World has just they don't really have names per se. They just have roles and jobs. Oh, Casey Scott, you and them zingers. You've been quite the regular in our streams when you do show up. When you do show up, but you have them zingers, man. You have them zingers. I love them. I love you, man. Oh, since I can talk, one thing you guys missed or anybody missed, shout out to Daniel Heron's birthday. So wish him a happy birthday, guys. Happy birthday, Dan Heron. If you ever come across this, can you please speed up to like at least 8 minutes so you can hear me shout you out birthday? I already shout you out on Facebook group, Professor's Facebook group and Twitter. So let's get to the hunters. What hunters? There's only one legit hunter in there, and that's Tony Jaa's character. Um, his role in there it seems to be the one that gives the exposition and showing these guys how to hunt the monsters proper, or he's probably going to be there just to convince Mia Jokovic to use the hunting gear to kill the monsters, which is going to lead into my gripes with this movie, which is going to be in the heavy topics. But it seems like he's going to be a central character too. I'm not sure what role will he really play in that movie, but it's an Anderson film, so Mila Jovovich is going to be the center stage. She's going to be the top actress. So obviously she's going to do the job way better than Tony Ya's character, despite her being a relative unknown into this world. Let's get into the heavy topics now, because I really want let's dive in. Let's deep dive into this because I'm ready to talk about the heavy topics here. So let's go with this. Oh my goodness, I mismatched these the order. Let's go with the story. So they're this military group. I'm going to say they're Marines, maybe, but they're going in. It seems like they're going to be exploring. I'm guessing Raw Permit has put them on a mission to I guess to chart an area or to explore an area. Maybe a strange disappearance. Maybe they're telling an enemy that disappeared a long time ago, and they cross over into the world of Monster Hunter, which from the setting, from the way how the setting looks, it looks like it's going to be the new world from Monster Hunter World. So if anybody doesn't know, the new world is the new location that the hunters go to travel. I'm guessing it's taking place after one of the Monster Hunters uh of the I'm gonna say the DS ones per se, because this series has branched out to many consoles. I believe it started out in PS2. I wish I had gotten it then when I first saw it. I wish I had gotten it, but I was very hesitant to get it because it looked like it was going to be an MMO from the way it looks. Because obviously, internet was hard to come by in those times, especially if you want to play online on PS2. Like say for instance, Resident Evil Outbreak, which was one of their online titles, online only titles. Well, not online only. You can actually play that without online, but you'll have a heck of a time playing that game because the AI was stupid in that game. My first time playing that, they didn't know what to do in that game. Um, but yeah, the story looks like they're going to be exploring this one area. Looking for yeah, I agree with you, Casey Scott. It's the reason why him and Lynn Wiseman had to compete with their trophy wives over the years with the Underworld series and the Resident Evil series. Come on, think about it like this. Let, I'm gonna get sidetracked. Let's go off topic real quick. That was the one thing that I really realized. Good English, good grammar there. That I realized when the Resident Evil movies and the Underworld movies were a thing, the it thing in the early aughts. Like you had two directors who married their leading stars and straight up competed. And I bet you right now, Lynn Watson will probably deny this. Even Anderson will probably deny this. But you can make no mistake. These men were trying to play the game of who has the best wife. Now I like Mila Jovovich, but I also liked I'm blanking on her name, Kate Beckinsale as Celine. But you gotta admit, for every movie, each of their wives had a new power up for each sequel. Say for Rise of the Lycans, because that was Rona Mitra in that one, and that was all about Lucian and Sonya. Now, if y'all want me to give my takes about the Underworld franchise, which I almost have the whole complete franchise, save for Blood Wars. I hated Blood Wars. Blood Wars broke me big time. And at that time when I went to see Blood Wars, I had to choose between either seeing Blood Wars or Final Chapter. Me and my wife, we both went to see that one. And I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to see the final chapter because I seen Retribution, and I was not liking where that movie franchise was going at that point. I wasn't even liking where Resident Evil was going at that point since Afterlife. Since actually no, let me retract that. Since Extinction, Extinction was the one movie where I said, oh no, this is not Resident Evil, and this is not the kind of direction that you should take with this franchise. That was weird with Extinction. But that's only because Anderson did not direct that movie. That was a different director. Anderson did not direct Extinction. He only directed the first, second, Afterlife, and Retribution, and Final Chapter. But Extinction was not his hand. Um, but yeah, I ended up seeing Blood Wars, and I hated that movie big time. More so than Awakening. Awakening was decent enough, but Blood Wars was just wow. That's to me that was like Len Watchman just giving up on his franchise at this point. It's like he was throwing the towel at that point. I mean, he still played who has the better wife with Anderson, but yeah. Let's get back on topic. Setting. I'm loving where the settings go. I'm glad that they're not focusing in on. It's supposed to be a. This is the one issue I have with some of these movies sometimes, is that you got these impressive settings, and this is one thing I have had issue with the Marvel movies too, is that you got these fantastical worlds, but you want to put it in the real life human world. I never understood that. You got this impressive budget that you have for these movies, and you mean to tell me you can't keep these settings in the fantastical? Especially with the Thor movies, which I'm glad that Thor Ragnarok fixed that. Say what you will about Thor Ragnarok, but thank goodness it actually stayed on Asgard this time, or at least it expanded on Asgard more so than the first two movies. Now the first movie, origin story, of course. Second movie, why did it not stay in Asgard? We want most people all agree we want to stay on Asgard, and that's what one thing I'm liking about this movie. It's actually going into the new world, and it's going to stay in the new world. It's not going to be flip flopping between the new world and our world. It's going to start in our modern world. I wasn't hip with that, but until they got into the new world, I was like, okay, all right, they're gonna get trapped into the new world. Okay, so you got settings like the ancient forest, which you guys don't know what that is. It's part of Monster Hunter World. I'm only speaking from what I'm seeing, and I played Monster Hunter World recently. I've been playing Monster Hunter World the for the longest time. So you got settings like the ancient forest, which is the forest. Duh. It's got recognizable fauna there. You also have the Wildspire Waste, which is a desert landscape, which they're gonna encounter Diablos, which is if you guys if Eloise knows about Diablos, it's the dragon that has like these big ass, ooh, I swear, these big tusk of horns. He's like a bull type creature, and like his gimmick is that he can dig underground and shark his way around it and knock you in the air. Ooh, I hate that. Hate when he does that. You gotta keep dodging and stuff until he finally emerges, and then you start attacking him. He's also got a club-like tail. Um, there's some other landscapes that show that I'm not too familiar with. I'm pretty sure that they're probably made up specifically for this movie. But yeah, recognizable ones is the Wildspire Waste and the Ancient Forest, which is a plus for me. It's going to be a few caves here and there, so I'm guessing that I don't know. They're probably going to mix a few of the Monster Hunter games into this movie, but they're taking reference from Monster Hunter World, which I gotta admit, smart thing to do. Very smart thing to do. You want to if you want to take reference from, you might as well take reference from the recent game, which is World. Grant, there's other Monster Hunters like that came next to World, which is on the DS. I think it's the DS, 3DS, I guess. And they have later been Monster Hunter World has been also been ported to the Switch also. So yeah, I think that was a smart move for them to go with the world setting. Also, world characters. There's no world characters in this. There's just a hunter. Let's just go with that. Tony Ya's character is the hunter, so he's gonna be like this rando that just happens upon these guys, get them to safety, and start telling them what's really going on, how to fight the monsters and stuff like that. Seems like they're gonna keep fighting with the modern weapons until they finally use the hunter weapons, or at least it's probably gonna be just down to Mila Jokovic being the last person of her squad using the monsters. That's the attitude I like, Eloise. That's the attitude I like. I don't know much about the monsters. I just know how to kill. Well, you gotta know a lot about the monsters in order to fight them. There's a strategy to fight them. You gotta learn more about the monsters in order to fight them. Basically, hunt them. But but yeah. So you gotta know the monster's weakness. You gotta know the monster's attack patterns. It's really like a dance, basically. I always call it a dance whenever time I hunt on Monster Hunter World. So yeah. Um yeah, that last shot of her powering up the dagger. Oh my god. That right there was so stupid. It looked like the weapons they're turning into a power up. Like you have to power up the daggers to actually do something. No, the twin daggers is when they get red like that. If you guys seen the trailer when she puts the daggers together and they build up, that's supposed to be the hunter job system that activates the hunter's abilities. And when you're a twin dagger main, when you use that ability, you're basically just doing a flurry of attacks. So it's like it seems like she's powering them up, and she's gonna use a big final attack on the monster. I'm like, no, this is where gameplay kind of has to take root into this, because they're implementing the gameplay into this movie, and that's the one thing that's going to bug me about that. It's like you're using the twin daggers, but you're going to use them to use a strong attack. Which last time I checked, any twin dagger mains that I've been around have used that attack, and when they built when the daggers glow, they unleash a flurry of combos on the monsters. They 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 zip around, cut them up, and stuff like that. Pretty much like how you would in an anime, in a way, in a sense. And I'm like, I'm not feeling that. I'm not really feeling that. It's like it would look fine if she was using, say, a longsword, which is basically a katana in that world. If she powered that up and used use an attack animation from the longsword, that would have been fine. Or if she was using the great sword and she was powering it up and using a final swing, because that's basically what a great sword can do. Like when you power that up, you use you release and you do a series of attacks. But now since the game has updated so many times, um, there's more to it now. They add more to the combo sheets, which is really impressive. I haven't really practiced. Again, I haven't really practiced all the weapons to know enough what new has been added. But I've seen many players use these weapons. Same thing with the switch axe. Like the switch axe has been updated with this new roster of combos, which I love to death, dude. Like, man, the switch axe is switch axe main forever, man. Switch axe main forever. That's the weapon. I used to hate that weapon when I first started Monster Hunter. I mostly used Charge Blade, which is a sword and shield combo. And I was mostly working repping the I was maining the charge blade for a while until I got back into switch axe and went through some YouTube tutorials on how to properly use it. And ever since then, I've been a switch axe main. Get swig of this monster. Mm. So that's pretty much what I have to say about. Let me go back to the characters. Like I said, Tony Yas is a specific character, so it seems like there's going to be just like. As a matter of fact, let me give. You know what? I'm not going to say no more about this movie. Let me give my final thoughts about this movie, and we'll get into the really fun stuff where we all just chill around and just talk about video game movies and the state it's in, the genre itself, which which I'm going to get into my hopeful bit in a spell. So there's not really specific world characters like the admiral, the great admiral, the everybody's favorites from world, the handler. She's best girl. Not even the fleet commander or even the master hunter or the I'm blanking on his name, but he's a big guy with huge hair. He's boss too. There's a lot of cast of characters in world that you just grow to love. Like they don't really do much aside from just give information about monsters and locations and stuff. But like, dude, when they really like shine, where they really shine is their characters. Like you don't really just grow to love them. You instantly love them. Like the handler. The handler is like first introduced in world, and you just love her. She's like so preppy. She's charming. She's got like this awkward girl like attitude. She fangirls around your character. It's so bubbly. So bubbly. She's nice. And you don't want anything bad to happen to her either. That's another thing. It's like when we see, like even if there's like even when you know she doesn't get hurt or she doesn't get attacked, or at least she doesn't get like seriously injured, and she's in these situations where a monster might attack her, but you get this sense where you just don't want her to get hurt because she's so adorable. Oh, another thing that they're missing in this movie, the palicos, these little cat humanoids and some other residents of I think they're called they're dragon something. They're little reptilian like pig like things. They kind of look like these little elf things, dwarf things. Phalans, yes. I mean felines. That's what I was talking about. The felines. I ain't seen not one feline on there in any scene. They might show them if they give a second trailer out because we're 2 months away from December pretty much. So if they come out with a second trailer, we might see some felines, but I don't think they're gonna have felines in there. I doubt it because like I said, the only character I've seen is a hunter. That's it from that world. And it looks to me like Tony Ya's character is probably going to be one that traversed into that world too. But he's been there, which I'm gonna share what I said on Facebook about this movie. What I really feel like when I time to look at this trailer. Yeah, like he looks like he was also lost in there, like and just learn the ways of the world there. But there's no I think they're called Silverines or oh my goodness. It's been a while since I played Monster Hunter. I should know their names. I should know each race name. I'm sucking on my Monster Hunter trivia. But yeah, final thoughts on this movie. I'm sorry. I don't mean to eat. She wanted me to make sure I'm eating right. That's a Swiss Army wife for you. That's a Swiss Army wife. Love her. But it looks to me like this movie's like a more hardcore Jumanji. That's why I said in the Facebook group, it looks like a hardcore Jumanji. It's like they just entered Jumanji. They ran to Alan Parrish, basically the Alan Parrish of that world. Because my prediction is that Tony Jaa is not specifically a character in that world. He's just one that got lost like they did, but he's been there way longer than them. But it looks to me like it's it looks like a hardcore Jumanji. They even talk about sealing up this portal that took them into that world so that the monsters won't get out into our world. Which I should go into specific why that's unsettling to me, because Monster Hunter World is basically, when you're a hunter in Monster Hunter World or Monster Hunter period, you're basically population control or environmental control. You're basically that. That's the reason why you're hunting the monsters. You're trying to control. You're A, trying to control the food chain. B, trying to control the environment to make sure the environment is stable. That's why you hunt the monsters. So like if you target a monster that's specifically not supposed to be there, that's what you're doing. You're basically doing that land a big surface, because that monster is upsetting the habitat. So you got, say, the ancient forest, and you got Diablos there. He's not supposed to be there because he's upsetting the food chain and the balance in the ancient forest. He's supposed to be in the wildspire waste. You know what I'm saying? That's his environment. Or you got elder dragons, which are these god tier dragons that are going to mess up the food chain just by being there. They're like these sentient ancient dragons that you have to hunt in order to control the environment, especially these great elder dragons that you get to fight, like Zora Madros or Xenojiva, or the recent iteration of Xenojiva. It's dare I say, evolved state Safi Jiva. Then there's also like on his name, but he used to be in the band my this, and now he's fun to fight. I'm snapping my fingers thinking about his name. It'll probably hit me. There's also what's it called? He's a big one. He's tough to fight too. Uh Nergigante, which is he's basically the elder dragon hunter. He likes to eat elder dragons. And for a time, when he got introduced, or at least well, he didn't get introduced. He was basically part of the main story. But when he showed up, every time when you would want to hunt an elder dragon, he would pop up out of nowhere just to fight the elder dragon and try to mess your stuff up, to muck your snoot up, basically. And I used to hate that, but I also loved it all the same, because when the monsters fight each other, which is a cool mechanic in the game itself, when the monsters fight each other, they damage each other. It's specifically more damage to the one that you're hunting currently, but they also drop material when they do it. So that was always a good plus. And every time they fight each other, like hang back, hang back, hang back. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. And the animation is great. The animation is awesome. When every time you see it, you should check it out on YouTube. All the monster skirmishes. Those are great skirmishes, especially the one with Rajang, this gorilla monster. He's a beast, man. He's a beast. But that's pretty much what I have to say about Monster Hunter, the movie. Just like a high budget spinoff of Jumanji. Basically, it's basically Jumanji all over again. with The Rock, Nebula, uh, Carrie Gillian, her name is, and Kevin Hart and Jack Black, of course. That's what it reads to me. The monster in the movie really looks like a very high budget Jumanji movie. Only it's played by adults and it's made for adults. Whereas the Jumanji movies were made for specifically for kids, but they had a rich story to it. Now, before I move on to the video game, oh hey Crispy, thanks for the shout out. Yeah, I'm sorry. I could have done this a little bit later, but I don't want to overlap on whatever the Professor Geek is doing later on. So and plus I just wanted to get this out there quickly. You know what I'm saying. But actually, before we even continue on and start talking about video game movies and my what my criteria fits into what makes a good video game movie. Um, so we're supposed to have a rewatch this Sunday, but since Owen hit a snag for that, we're moving it up to the 25th. Same time, 8 o'clock. Be there or be square, basically. So it's still a thing, but we have to reschedule. I'm pretty sure you guys got my message on Facebook. So yeah, just a minor update. Like Owen still has to acquire his copy, and rest assured, come on, you apes, you ready to live forever? So let's talk about the video game movie genre. Let's start with Super Mario Bros. What was y'all take on Super Mario Bros? Because when I was a kid, I liked that movie. I liked that movie as a kid. Super Mario movie. It it was terrible, yes, but it has a charm to it. And hearing about the horror story of how that movie got made, the whole the whole debacle, even the late great why am I blanking on his name? Eddie Valiant. Let's call him Eddie Valiant from Roger Rabbit. Detective Eddie Valiant. He ended up Bob Hoskins. His name Bob Hoskins injured himself on the set, and I think John Leguizamo Luigi Mario. I think he was getting drunk or high on the set because of the stress he was dealing with the couple that was directing the film. In their whole spat and stuff that kept spewing into the work and stuff. I think that was there was last time I read he was on and off the set, but he was also he was doing stuff to cope with the stress. But all in all, the movie got made. I saw it and I liked it as a kid. I watched it on network TV. But did it check off my criteria? It kind of did in a way. There was a story to it, for sure. There had to be a story. It's not really like necessarily the same story as the Mushroom Kingdom story. The characters were good. You had Daisy instead of Princess Peach, which I'm pretty sure if they would have made a sequel to it, Princess Peach would have probably got involved. Maybe. But you had Daisy in there, and she was blonde for some reason. That was weird. Yoshi was there, but man, was he tiny. Then you had the Goombas. Say what you will about the Goomba designs, they kind of they got them partially accurate to the Goomba designs. I mean, granted, they're not a mushroom size look or mushroom head walking around, but the head design you put them next to the Goombas, the actual Goombas, they do kind of look like the Goombas. I mean, they were dumb as bricks, but still, even the Koopa Troopa. If you can't really see the looks of what the creatures in the Marvel movies look like, there you are. Uh, well, you better lighten the heck up, thanks, because I'm going to be talking about a lot of video games. I'm not going to stretch this time too long because I know everybody has got things to do and everything. But I'm going to cover some stuff definitely. So you said I've only seen four video game movies in my life: Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Silent Hill. Oh, I'm definitely going to cover the Silent Hill movies. And I have not seen Sonic the Hedgehog, but I am definitely going to go get my Blu-ray copy of that movie because I do want to support the company that actually listened to the fans, changed Sonic's design, which sadly I heard that they went back. The animation company that went and changed Sonic design lost a lot of money doing that and went bankrupt. And I'm hoping that the movie sales for that movie actually got them out of bankruptcy because I want that. It's one thing for us to demand change and the people do it, but they have to suffer for it, which I'm not blaming the fans for. A lot of SJW types and social progressive types, they were they were they were pitching a fit over it. But the thing is, the most important thing that happened was with that movie was they listened to fans. They gave the fans what they wanted, and it turned out really well. Same with Detective Pikachu. Even that, I've seen only like the first opening of Detective Pikachu, and my goodness, I wanted to. Well, actually, I take that back. I do not want to live in the world of Pokemon. I'm sorry. I do not like as much as I played the games. I only stopped at Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I never continued on after that. But I do not want to live in the world of Pokemon. Read the manga if you know what I mean, or rather, read the manga if you don't know what I mean. I do not want to live in that world. I don't care how domesticated the Pokemon are. To some extent, I do not want to live there. I definitely don't want to live in the world of Sonic, especially Sonic Adventure. No, these are amazing worlds, but these are the worlds you do not want to live in. Real talk, especially Monster Hunter. You do not want to live in Monster Hunter. You would not survive Monster Hunter unless you become a hunter, of course. But that's all I gotta say about the Mario movie, which was it was nice. I mean, the kid in me won't let me hate it, even though the adult me says I should hate it. But like make no mistake about it, it did hit my criteria of what makes specifically what makes a good um, video game movie. Even though it was a terrible video game movie, it still met my criteria to some extent. It had a nice style to it. I mean, it did something differently. It was unrecognizable from the games, yes, but if you really peel back the layers and examine the look of it, it did kind of adapt the game in its own way. In its own way. Mortal Kombat. Let's get to Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat as a kid, and I still love it today as an adult. And some part of me has a guilty pleasure with Mortal Kombat Annihilation, mostly because of Sindel. Oh my goodness, the actress. Granted, the actress is a terrible actress, but damn, did she look fine. My goodness. Every time I see her come on screen, I melt. She was, man, Sindel's the big dip. She's the original MILF. She's the original MILF. Now, Mortal Kombat is a good video game movie, and it checked off my criteria. Setting is set in out on an island. It has the tournament. It has the characters. Characters look, granted, they look a little different in the movies. They don't look like their game counterparts. But if you saw Sonya Blade, you would say that's Sonya Blade. If you saw Liu Kang, that's supposed to be Liu Kang. Kano, duh. The face plate on his face, duh. That's Kano. Sadly, he passed away. The actor, the original actor who played Kano. Another note, Mortal Kombat Legacy, the actor who also played Kano, also passed. That's crazy. that's that's crazy. The thing about Mortal Kombat is that when somebody plays Kano, they end up dying. And I don't take that as me speaking ill of the dead. I'm just saying that's a pattern. Because you had the original actor who played Kano in the first movie, he passed away after playing him. And then you had another actor who was also in Ip Man 2, the boxer. He played the boxer in Ip Man 2. But he was also Kano in the Mortal Kombat Legacy web series on Machinima back then. He passed away. So I'm guessing if you want a longer life, don't play Kano. If you want to live long enough, don't play Kano. I guess that's a curse. That's a curse. I tend to call those uh cursed production antics, like the Crow series or the Crow movies. Well, only first two movies, only somebody died, like one person died in those movies. But I always call that I'm talking about death today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't want to make this sound grim. I really don't. Let me stop and read your comments real quick. Danny Spike is the main star right now. He's the one who's giving me the dialogue. Out of all of them, Silent Hill would have been the best. Would have to be the best. MK is really fun and like how the characters portrayed. And your second comment would be, funny enough, movie Kano had such an impact to the MK development team that he was retroactively changed from Chinese to Australian to match the movie version. Yeah, that's one thing I gotta like about stuff like that. Stuff like that always happens in movies that you never would have known until you get into the trivia stuff. So like that right there, what was like the greatest improvement to the games is making him this smarmy Aussie. Did I say that right? I probably called him an Austrian, but yeah, um, Annihilation was terrible movie, but it really it barely even checked off the movie criteria in my book. Wing Commander, you guys probably don't never heard of this one. Wing Commander was a video game movie too, with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Saffron Barros, the lady who played in Deep Blue Sea, the scientist lady. Um, everybody knows who Freddie Prinze Jr. is, the one who had the meltdown about Star Wars, famously known for that now, but was most notably known for She's All That, Scooby Doo. He was Fred, Scooby Doo. Then you have Matthew Lillard, Shaggy, the only Shaggy. Let's let let's go let's put that out there. Matthew Lillard will always be best Shaggy for live action Scooby Doo movies. Best Shaggy. I don't care what nobody says. You can't replace him. You can't duplicate him. He's the only Shaggy that I love as a live action Shaggy. But Wing Commander was like a a movie made from a game franchise that a lot of people know, but a lot of people don't know. And I heard that they changed a lot in that movie, so that doesn't fit my criteria. They changed a lot of things in Wing Commander, but um, the aliens on there look really nice. They look pretty cool, but yeah, the kid in me still loves it, but the adult me knows that's terrible. So it's not gonna be in my list of good video game movies. Street Fighter, love Street Fighter. Now, did it check off my list? No, it didn't. I'll tell you why. Saying it it kind of got Shaoloo correct, but it got wrong too. Bison being a dictator? No, he's a crime boss. But it's nice. You know what? Raul Julia, rest his soul, he was the best thing about that movie. Same with Van Damme and the guy who played Zangief. He was. I love Zangief in that one. Quick, change the channel. I agree, Danny Spike. I agree. Or when when Bison gives that speech about him and Gaio meeting man to man and gentleman combat, and Zangief just lets out a sniffle. That was beautiful. Yeah, yeah, I do. I can't for the life of me understand why I lost that copy of that. You talking about Street Fighter, the anime movie? Anime is where it's at sometimes when it comes to video game movies. We will not speak of Tekken, the motion picture. That was terrible, terrible. If you want to talk about a very bad anime adaptation of a video game, look no further than freaking Tekken, the motion picture. And the only best highlight of that movie was freaking Heihachi Mishima eating an axe. Yes, dude ate an axe in that movie. If anything, just watch that movie solely for that scene. That was amazing. But we will not speak of Tekken, the motion picture. Now there was also the Fatal Fury series made by the guy who made Voltage Fighter, Go Kaiser, and he's basically and Virus Buster Surge, which I've only seen like one or two or three episodes of that one. If you don't know the style, he makes both men and women look drop dead sexy. Basically, all the dudes look like they could be gay for each other. All the girls could be look like they be gay for each other too. But they also can swing around and love guys too. Also, boob physics is thrown out the window in many of his animation production. So it's like no matter what, their boobs are always moving. No matter what, even when they turn around, boobs bouncing up and down when it's supposed to be moving side to side, side to side. Sometimes when they do, there's one scene in Volkswagen Go Kaiser where girl just turned around and her boobs just does this like the imagination hand gesture. She literally her boobs literally did that imagination and jiggle. Another bad. Sorry, let me put up Danny Spike. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull everybody else's strings. Somebody needs to say something besides Danny Spike. I love Danny Spike, but you know, okay, another bad video game anime would have to be the ones based on SNK fighting games. I didn't see those ones that much, or at least I didn't see them at all. But I get what you're saying. The Fatal Fury, I love the Fatal Fury movies, especially the one with Ryo of the Wildfire. Well, he's not specifically Wildfire from Rolling Warriors, but it's the voice actor that I recognize. He was the villain in that one. I don't care what anybody said. That movie is amazing. It is amazing. It basically hits the right notes for video game criteria, but it also emulates the Street Fighter animated movie. When they introduce fires, they fight. Sometimes they'll introduce other characters in there that you recognize, like Geese. Geese gets a scene one moment, and he's not really like a main protagonist. Uh, Sorry to make demands of you, Casey Scott. Drive safe, buddy. Drive safe, and be safe out there, because I know it's been hectic recently with the shootings, the riots, the all that stuff. Be safe out there, buddy, and get home safe from work. Get home safe. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, the Fatal Fury motion picture was pretty good. There was also Street Fighter Alpha the movie and Street Fighter Alpha the movie Generations. You also had Street Fighter 4 the anime movie, which I didn't like that one that much, mostly because Cammy got her butt handed to her by what's her name? Sea Viper. That was a travesty. That was the ultimate travesty. How you gonna have Cammy White get her butt handed to her by Sea Viper? That was stupid. Um, let's get back to live action ones. Let's go with the Resident Evil movies. So I only like the first two Resident Evil movies, even though the second one was not the best. The first one was really good because actually, you know what? I'm gonna add another criteria in it. No, actually, no. This goes back to the characters in my criteria. I like it best sometimes when you use original characters in a video game movie than the actual characters because at least with the original characters, you don't run the risk of butchering the characters from the games. You actually put your own characters in there, but for me for it to fit and work well for me is if you get the narrative right, you get the story right, you get the setting right. I don't care if the characters don't if none of the recognizable characters don't show up in the video game movie. So long as it looks like the game universe, or at least the gameplay mechanics are implemented well, it don't matter to me whether or not original characters or it doesn't matter if they don't put the characters from the games in instead put their own original because at least with the original characters you don't have to butcher characters from the game, and that's what I liked about Resident Evil 1 because those were original characters, and plus for the life of me I don't understand why Paul S.W. Anderson ditched this theme that he was going with the move with the first movie, the Alice in Wonderland theme. That's one thing I really noticed about that movie when I watched it 3 times, and people are jumping like flies for some reason. There's only one person here. What the heck? Is it Danny Spector still here? Nobody's saying goodbye, but whatever. I love you guys though. I love you all the same. But excuse me. There was an Alice in Wonderland theme going on with the first movie. So you had Alice, Mila Jokovich's character. She was Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Kaplan, the dude who was the computer expert that dies near the end, he was White Rabbit. Um, I believe. Oh, hey Fiona. That's how I see the Blade Runner 2019 comic. It shares a saying, but does not touch on Decker or anything from the books or movies as far as POVs goes. Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. But like, that's one thing I liked about the first Resident Evil movie is that you didn't like even though you would want the characters from the games to show up, at least they were smart enough to at least use original characters, and they could have went that route. They could have stayed on that path. They could have kept going with original characters, but they chose to add in Jill Valentine, which I liked. It was cool, but that took the spot. You took away the spotlight from Jill to put it onto Alice. That's the only thing I hated when they start adding in characters from the game. You're not gonna get to see them shine because oh, we gotta watch how sexy my wife is, how badass my wife is. She married the director, and now the director has her on a shelf, and he's basically inviting us to look at how great his wife is now. Now he's add the characters in. Oh, Eloise is still here. I wonder if Danny Speck is still around. Maybe something happened on off topic. Moving on. Yeah. I kind of wish they would have stuck with the Alice in Wonderland theme. Like you go into Through the Looking Glass and What Did Alice Find, which I did not read those books, by the way. So my only exposure to Alice in Wonderland was the Disney movie and this 90s movie and Alice, the sci-fi miniseries, which I like as well. I really liked Alice, and I have not touched any after the Tim Burton movies. I have not since touched anything Alice in Wonderland related at all since that time. Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks for giving. I don't usually stream on this time. I mostly stream on Sundays around 8 o'clock. That's mostly my time, and it's hard for me to get an audience because everybody's doing the stream. Everybody's on the stream scene ever since the pandemic hit. Everybody has since been on the stream scene, and it's really hard to find your spot in to get an audience. But this is not me being salty. I'm not blaming everybody else. It's me just trying to branch out now. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Fiona. And it, I I knew what I was doing when I did this. I knew I was going to be working into everybody's work time. I was hoping to. That was Afterlife, Casey Scott. Oh no! That was Extinction. And Afterlife's when they changed actors. The actor was different in Afterlife. I didn't mind the first actor who played Wesker in Extinction. He looked like he could be badass enough to be Wesker, but the Wesker in Afterlife was spot on. He was dead on the money being Wesker, especially being active, especially in combat, dude. Um, Afterlife just did not make no sense whatsoever. I didn't even like who they got for Claire Redfield that much. I do like that actress. Ali Lauder was her name. She was not Claire. She was not Claire. Hey, Age, you gonna chime in and not say hello? Yeah, you doing, Age? Yep. I'm gonna cover that, Age. I'm definitely gonna cover Rampage. It hits my video game movie criteria. I'll tell you why too in a bit. But we're talking about the Resident Evil movies. Which I'm closer, so no set work days because most want Saturday, Sunday off. Still, I would usually watch streams, replays while writing. Yeah, if you're gonna do that, you might as well watch our rewatch of the Guyver Dark Hero or any of the Guyver episodes that we did about the anime. Not mandatory. Not expect you to do it, but it'll be nice if you give me a like and you comment. You know, what I would definitely like from any of you guys, all of you guys, constructive criticism. Please lay down the constructive criticism and don't be nice. Stop it. Be constructive, yes, but don't pull your punches. Tell me what I could do better. Tell me what I can improve. Especially me and Owen and Ivan. Whenever we do get him on the horn, tell us what we can do to improve, so we can get better at this. And our rewatch is coming up on the 25th, so I would love to improve my craft here. But and hello, Agent Boomer. I'm so glad you're here, man. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. And just let you guys know, the Professor Geek did leave a shout out for me early in the stream. Yeah, he left a shout out. So thank the professor for leaving that shout out. Just to repeat that. I guess we can move on from Resident Evil. Tomb Raider. She's Fiona. Speaking of which, I did watch your video on about Karens. Well, not. I know it wasn't specifically for Karens. I know you were talking about entitled characters in your book. I did watch that recently before I got on stream. That was nice. I like that. I got to remind myself to shoot a like on that video. That was beautifully done. Beautifully done. Yeah, I agree with you, Age Boomer. I agree with you, Age. They did have some really good trailers, especially Resident Evil Evolution. That Regenerate ad campaign teaser that they did, that was awesome. The way how they open how they advertised Resident Evil Evolution, was that Evolution? The second Resident Evil. That ad was really nicely done. That was like the biggest trailer I liked about that movie. And second trailer was good, but not that second trailer did not top the Regenerate ad trailer teaser, whatever you call that. That was actually pretty nice. But yeah, the trailers were actually, that's one thing I gotta say. That's one thing I gotta say about that's also something I gotta say about the Transformers, which I really would like to talk about the Transformers movies one day. I definitely want to talk about the Transformer movies. And actually, you know what? It won't just be. I'll make sure it won't be just me talking about the Transformer movies. I'll have my wingmen Owen Lister and Ivan Mendoza with me when we do that. Definitely, we're dancing around ideas, a lot of ideas. There's some ideas I want to do. Owen has some ideas. Ivan, he'll contribute. He contributes sometimes. He's giving me some ideas. Modern Tomb Raider. Are you talking about the reboot franchise, like the Rise of the Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider 2014 game, and what's the recent one called? Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider kind of flew by my radar. When every time I look up that, I was like, oh, that existed, because I know Rise of the Tomb Raider existed, but not Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But I only played the 2014 one only. I did not. I was not really. I only got like 34% through the game before I traded it in, because I wanted money and I wanted to buy a new game. And yeah, yeah, I like old Lara better. Confident, unapologetically, yeah, unapologetically sexy, knows what she wants, gets what she wants. Shoot you with a shotgun for even peeking at her in a towel wrap. That's the Lara I like. Though modern Lara does have some qualities that I do like as well. Grant, I don't like this trend of female characters wearing the modern Lara outfit. I am sick to death of that design. Jeans, tank top, dirt, scratches. I'm sick to death of that design now. It really shows a lack of imagination. I'm so sick and tired of that getup. They did with Jill in the Resident Evil 3 remake, which I'm glad that they finally gave you the skin to have her to where she can wear her classic getup in Resident Evil 3 and her uniform from Resident Evil 1. But I'm sick to death of that sort of faux tomboy style dress wear that they have these female characters wearing nowadays. Give us some style, at least, or something. Like, I like games like the recent Rogue Company where you got Ronin. She's got this skin tight suit and this red leather jacket. You know what I'm saying? Or like the Couture games where each female has their own unique set of outfits that you can recognize. Lollipop Chainsaw with her get-ups and her cheerleader outfit, or Bayonetta. Love Bayonetta. Or Lady and Trish from Devil May Cry. Trish with her corset, her battle corset, and her leather pants, her biker girl getup, and Lady with her sort of Catholic schoolgirl getup in Devil May Cry 3. Later on, you got her in this. I'm sorry to say, I did not like her design for Devil May Cry 5. Looks too bulky and busy. I'm just saying it looks like That's a great comment there. Yeah, Casey Scott. From what I heard from Resident Evil 3, they took a lot. It's like they hollowed it out badly. The clock tower puzzle, the clock tower in general actually. And Nemesis is a pussy in that game. He's basically a stock modern day. He's a stock modern day survival horror boss now. You know, the kind that just basically just they have the character dead to rights, but all they do is throw them around, punch them, kick them, but everybody else insta kill, right? But you get to but if you get to Dead Space, if you want to talk about Dead Space, there's a lot of enemies that want to kill Isaac. Even boss enemies want to kill Isaac. There's never a moment where an enemy tosses Isaac all over the damn place. Excuse me. You know, you get Isaac getting stabbed, shot, cut. There's never a moment where, like, every time I see freaking Nemesis in Resident Evil 3, he tosses Jill around, kicks her in the gut, pushes up against the wall, about to punch her head into the wall, but misses. Grabs her by the neck, could have snapped her by the neck, but she ended up granted, she shoot him in the face, but he still drops her. She didn't shoot him in the eye. She just exposed it, but he drops her. I'm like, what? You had her dead to rights. You could have snapped her neck by then. Whatever. I really don't like the Resident Evil remakes that they're bringing out now. I might have to check out Baldur's Gate 3. I did Age Boomer. That's the reason why I want to segue into the Tomb Raider movies. I did see the new Tomb Raider movie. I did pay money for it. But here's my take on it. I liked it. It's not accurate. It's not particularly accurate to the first reboot game. Before I did like the actress who played her. I believe her name was Elise Vigara. Vicara. Yeah, Alicia Vicara. She was from the man from Uncle. She was also in Ex Machina, and what other thing? She's been in a lot of stuff that I've recognized her in. But she was a good Lara. I liked her as Lara. I like the setting too. It definitely checked off my video game movie criteria somewhat. Somewhat. It kind of skirt past the supernatural and kind of did a little zombie movie at the end. I didn't like that. That was terrible. That was horrible. They did have if you notice that I'm pausing, I'm kind of eating at the same time. I'm sorry guys, I don't mean to eat, but the wife says I need to eat. She loves me so much, and I love her, so I'm sorry. Yeah, back to what I was saying. I will say this: it's nowhere near good as the Angelina Jolie movies. Creole Life was my top favorite between the two. I did like the first movie, but I love Creole Life. Love it. Mostly because Creole Life had more Tomb Raider than the first movie, or at least it kind of had a focused narrative. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing. That's one thing I liked about the Tomb Raider movies, even the modern one from 2017, was that they did pick the right actress to play what they wanted, basically. Um, Doom, The Rock, and Pearl Urban. That one was okay, except for one thing. I did not like how they changed it to a genome, then Enemies from Hell. And I know why they did that, because studio mandated them to not. There was a sort of craze going on in the middle of the early aughts where, for some reason, you could not put hell in your movies for some reason, or you could not reference hell because for some reason they want to appease the crazy Christians at the time. No offense to anybody who's Christian, or any of you guys who are Christian. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the fundamentalists, and everybody already knows in the who's interacted with me in the comments know that I'm atheist, but I'm by no means I'm by no means the one that scoffs at your religion, or doubts your religion that much. Some people mostly say that I'm mostly agnostic. I'm mostly atheist, leaning towards agnostic. If you want to know my belief system, how my belief system works, but I'm no way trying to insult any of you guys who are Christian. But there was like this whole. I'm speaking this from what was going on at the time. There were so many people worried that the Christians would have something to say about having references to hell in their movies. But the problem is this: is that there's been a lot of movies that reference hell a lot. The I believe it was called The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp. Um, excuse me. There was also Bless the Child with Kay Basinger and Christina Ricci. I think that was Joaquin Phoenix. No, it was the dude who played Commodus in Gladiator. I keep forgetting his name. Rufus Sewell. I think his name was Rufus Sewell. Why I care about these actors' names? Names are important to me, guys. I'm just pointing that out there right now. Names are important. Your names are fine. I like your screen names. I don't need to know your real names. I mean, if you tell me your real names, that's your choice. But I don't need to know your real names. You know what I'm saying? It's not my position to know. But when it comes to actors' names and actresses, names are important to me. So if if I'm naming their names, that's only because names are important. A thriller gag, but perfect. Still waiting for a zombie movie to make a thriller gag be perfect in a RE movie. That'd be hilarious. Well, with the current way of Netflix, there's a Netflix Resident Evil show in the works, and from what I hear, it's not good. It's not good. It really shows that most people do not know what it takes, or don't have, to me, in my opinion, don't have what it takes to make a video game film, let alone a video game show. I don't count the Here's the thing, I don't count The Witcher as a video game show, because I'm gonna tell you why. They're not adapting the video game. They're adapting the books. So to me, that's basically an adaptation of the book series, not the game series. So The Witcher, it does not count. Now, y'all may vary what y'all like about it, whether you guys like that show or not. I am indifferent. When I first seen that show, my only takeaway from it was I do not need to see black people every 5 freaking minutes in that show. I don't even want to see black people at all in that show. I don't even want to see black elves. I've seen it in Dungeons and Dragons, that live action Dungeons and Dragons movie, and I was fine with it then. I'm not fine with it now. Oh, I played Dragon's Dogma. I want to see that movie. So you think it was bad for you? I'll watch it and I'll make my own decision on that one. Sadly. And let me read this other comment. Yeah, it feels like the censorship train is multi-track drifting based on virtual signaling. What are people concerned about this time? Yep, that's basically what it is. Okay, Scott, remember that time? Can't remember which state, but they changed Hellboy to Heck Boy. You know what? You just gave me a new nickname for the Hellboy reboot, Heck Boy, because that's what he was. He was a Heck Boy. He, I'm sorry, David Harbour is a good actor. He's a talented actor, and for what I liked about his portrayal of Hellboy, the writing of Hellboy in that film was terrible, terrible. He had no set goals. He was just going where they were telling him to go. Whereas Ron Perlman's Hellboy go where he felt like going. Now he did the mission. Make no mistake about that. Ron Perlman's Hellboy did the mission, but after that he goes where he wants and only gets grounded. That's the Hellboy I like. This Hellboy here in the was it 2019 reboot? He's a sissy. All you gotta do is slap on the wrist and he'll say yes, master, or yes, mother, or yes, dad. They made him into a straight up teenager in the reboot, basically. Whereas in the the Guillermo del Toro films, he was more of a how would I best describe it? He was a choir boy that wasn't afraid to be the bad boy. Let's go with that. He was a choir boy that wasn't afraid to be the bad boy. He was by every definition a badass, basically. And they took the bad out of the ass and made him an ass. And excuse me, I'm swearing. I shouldn't be swearing. I try to be more cultured with these streams. And you guys probably watched a few of the back streams. You hear me swear a few times. Heck, you probably even watched me with Mr. Master, and I swear a storm in that stream too sometimes. But that's kind of the nature of his streams, so I tend to roll with it. But I try to be a bit more pulled back, especially when I do study hall with Troy and Age, or heck, even when I'm with Ishii and Kat, whenever they decide to have me again, I try to be more cultured. That's kind of funny because in Ishii and Kat stream, you can swear all you want, but me, I'm just like so cultured and mature and whatever fancy word you can use. I like Fiona's assessment of the roles for men nowadays. Absent dad, stupid, or cannon father. Yeah. No woman's allowed to die. No black person's not allowed to die. No gay person's allowed to die. Heck, none of these three that they virtue signal are allowed to be evil at all. Which goes back, which let's go to my hopeful part about this stream now. So let's go into game movies that I actually did like for what it was that they really checked off my list of criterias. Dare I say it, Warcraft. Let me continue. Actually, no. Let me read Fiona's comment right here. My channel will never get monetized. I curse too much in my videos. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna get that either. Either two things: either I'm just a nobody, or maybe I swear a few times here and there in my streams. But I got a Patreon now, so I still haven't set up anything for my Patreon yet. But I have that set up. I set that up like 2 days ago. But yeah, so I'm in a sense trying to grow into being a businessman now. I'm coming about next year. I'm going to be more business minded, trying to set up a business for my artwork, my streams, my everything. Like I'm still gonna be working a day job, of course. I'm not gonna quit my day job. You gotta make money somehow, but like extra money is never a bad thing either. And I guess when I finally get it settled and cemented, start rolling that dough. That's probably when I start making it my real job. So many things I'm trying to dance around lately, and so little time I've done, or at least I'm baby stepping it. So wish me luck, guys, on the Patreon thing. Um, Warcraft. It's not well liked by the Warcraft fans, and I get it. I get it. I understand. They're the fans. But Warcraft looked like Warcraft. The armor looked like Warcraft. The orcs looked like orcs from Warcraft. Exactly. Exactly, Fiona. Exactly. I liked Warcraft for what it was. Yes, it put in characters that were from World of Warcraft, which people kept confusing for World of Warcraft, but it was really Warcraft. And yeah, there was a lot of things that they put in that didn't show up until later expansions of World of Warcraft. I'm glad that the Pandarans didn't show up. That would have been weird, like really weird that the Pandarans would show up in Warcraft when we know that they don't show up in Warcraft until Warcraft comes to until somebody from say what's that what's that land called, Azeroth, I think it's called. You guys can correct me in the comments. Till they came to Pandora. Kind of crazy how I know so, just about as much of Warcraft, even though I never played the games in my life. It's kind of funny. Um, Toby Kebbell as Durotan was great. If you guys don't know who Toby Kebbell is, he was the voice and the motion capture of Koba from the Planet of the Apes reboot franchise, the better reboot than the Tim Burton reboot. So yeah, Toby Kebbell played Durotan in that one. I think yeah, he was great as Durotan. I love like I don't know anything else about Durotan aside from the lore videos that I've seen him in, but Toby Kebbell smashed as Durotan. If you want to know more of Toby Kebbell's pedigree, he was also in Kong Skull Island. He was the I don't want to spoil his fate in the movie, but I'm guessing if I'm saying it now, that would count as spoiling. That's gearing you up for the spoiler. But he was in Kong Skull Island. He was also in Fant Four Stick as Doctor Doom. He was Doctor Doom. He was Doctor Doom in Fant Four Stick. If we, he was also in a few. I think he was in only one episode of Black Mirror, the entire history of you, basically. And he was also I'm moving on. I'll be here all day trying to figure out his pedigree. I just like that actor. Toby Kebbell. If you must know, I like his acting cred. Fan Four Stick, not so withstanding, but I like Toby Kebbell. Period. He's an amazing actor. He's serious. He's all about business. He's committed. No matter what movie he's in, he's very committed. Especially if you hear him in the interviews of movies that he's been in. He's very well committed to the role. So he's kind of like he's like one of my favorite actors next to Denzel, which I consider Denzel Washington my father figure, or at least my father role model, my male role model. I try to take a bit of stuff from Denzel sometimes. Same thing with Morgan Freeman. Those two are my male role models. And Toby Kebbell is one of my favorite actors. next to Chris Pratt. Used to be Chris Evans, but he, this will be, this will be another stream. My top favorite actors. Who's up for the? I'll put a pull maybe on Twitter or Facebook, and I'll excuse me, and you guys vote for what I will do for whenever time you have just a Wolf Commander, to yourselves. You feel me? Yeah, okay, Scott. That's the only reason why I know much about Warcraft is the lore videos. Same thing with Warhammer. Definitely, if you well, oh, you know what? Speaking of Warhammer, if y'all want to check out some really good Warhammer content, check out Luton 09, I think his number is, or just look up Luton and look at Warhammer. So much great lore videos about Warhammer 40K, I mean. And check out this animated miniseries called Astartes. If you haven't heard of that, you might have, but check that out if you wanted some good Warhammer content. So I'm getting a little bit off track here, and I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I mean, are you guys having fun? Do you guys want me to keep going? Do you guys want me to keep going? Just type in Wolf Focus. So, let me know you guys want me to keep going. So let's talk about Rampage. Fantastic movie. Not the A-list movie, but it was a fantastic movie. I got my own Blu-ray copy of Rampage. I've watched it so far 6 times already. That's not an exaggeration. 6 times. It checked off the list really well. It's got a nice, unique story. It's got some good characters. The more I watch it, the more I love Dwayne Rock Johnson's character. Even I'm blanking on her name. Calypso from Naomi Harris. Calypso from or Tia Dalma from the Pirates franchise. That chick. And also she was in 20 Days Later. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan specifically, and the comedian Jeffrey Dean Morgan was killer in that movie. They also had Silk Spectre from Watchmen in that movie as the evil sister. That's probably the only drawback to that movie was the fact that that was not a drawback. I like that villain. We need more villains like that. Just deliciously evil. Just don't care about the repercussions. Don't care about everybody else's lives. When have we fall so low to always want complex villains all the dang time? I'm so sick to death of that too. That's another thing I'm sick to death in movies in general. I don't always want to understand the villain. My only understanding about the villain is that they're evil. That's all you need to know. They're bad. The good guy needs to take them out. That's all you need to. There's no existential stuff that you need to know about the villain. I'm so sick to death of that. I'm so sick and tired of always understanding the villain. This is the reason. This is the reason why we got the SJWs always identifying with the villains now, because now they're under because they confuse understanding, or they're confusing empathy with actually emulating. I think that's the right word to put it. Or at least what they think they're empathizing with, they're actually mimicking, or at least they feel, for some reason they feel so connected to the villain, or at least they're trying to do these mental gymnastics to justify why they like these villains so much, or why they identify with the villains more so than the heroes. Sympathetic villain is okay in my book. Granted, you're right, it is overused, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a villain that like Thanos is the only exception in my book. He's the only exception, But like ever since Thanos hit the screen, now everybody wants a Thanos type. You get what I'm saying? They always want a Thanos type, specifically the MCU Thanos type. Like you, it's like my sneaky suspicion about these social progressives. They've been abused all their lives, and they're still abused, or at least they're stuck in that abuse pattern. They haven't gotten over their abuse. They haven't sought therapy. So when every time every time you hear somebody say that they agree with Thanos, or they say he's like a he's really trying to be a good father, I'm like, no, no. Tearing apart your own daughter to make her better in order to fight the other daughter, and conditioning her to always fighting the other daughter to get better, is not what makes a good father. It makes a good sadistic villain, but it does not make a good father. Odin is a good father, even though he has flaws. He's always wanted the best for his sons. He is arrogant, yes. He can be egotistical, yes. He can be confident, yes. He can be cocky. But at the end of the day, he wants what's best for his sons, adopted and blood related. He wants Thor to be on the throne. Heck, he probably would have been able to give Loki the throne had Thor died in battle, if by some miracle that happens. You know? But Thanos is not father material. He's villain material. I don't get it. But this is going off topic from video games. I don't need to. This could, again, a lot. There's a lot of things I would love to talk about in separate streams. You guys can hop in those streets whenever time I get those ready. But Rampage was, again, beautifully shot. I I know a lot of people didn't like the fact that the monsters were giant animals, which, in if you guys have never played Rampage in the games, the giant monsters were people turned to giant creatures, and when every time you die, you morph back into a naked human being, and they run away. That always cracked me up every single time. It's like whenever time you die, you morph back into a naked human being, and they run off to the side to go and hide. And if you were playing with a friend, you can actually eat your friend's character and gain more health in Rampage. Like if you manage to catch your friend, like run away, you can catch them and eat them, and you gain more health. You gain a lot of health basically. That was always fun. Dick move, but still fun. But I was okay with them being giant animals. I like the designs too. Though giving Ralph this kind of like skull like face was a bit too overdone, a little bit too much for me. But I did like Ralph's design to some extent. He had spines, quills, like a porcupine. He got the bat webbing on his front legs and hind legs, which he can glide like a squirrel. That to me was like them adapting how in Rampage World Tour. No, not World Tour. Universal Tour on the super the N64, right? If you jump and you press the jump button repeatedly, your character would flap their hands like wings and float off to the next building. That was always a fun thing for me to do, but like that was like a unique take on gameplay implementation on that one. Oh, speaking of gameplay I cannot talk. Gameplay implementation. The way how they climb up the buildings, the way how they tore buildings, how they attack helicopters and military personnel, that was so in the game. Everything I saw the game. Especially when they climb up that big building, that was the game. You can climb up big buildings. But if I had to throw something in, I would have loved to see somebody in the bath If they, because every time you would expose a building, sometimes, especially in Universal Tour, there was one human character that was like taking a shower or a bath, scrubbing themselves, and you can eat them and stuff. But I would love to see that too. I would love to like throw in a little bit of Easter eggs is what I'm saying. Throw in a little bit of Easter eggs here and there. I would love to see a little bit more Easter eggs like that from the games, or like one of the monsters puking. I would love to have seen them puke, or at least like if George would have ate something and he burped and like fire came out of his mouth. Like it's a video game movie. It don't have to be realistic. I would love that seeing some stuff like the power ups that you can get from just banging on the buildings and stuff. But other than that, it really hit the mark of what makes a good video game movie. I don't care what anybody say who hates that movie. That was a good video game movie. Which leads me to my hope for Monster Hunter World. It's not hitting the right marks for me. I'm still debating whether I'm going to see it or not. It's still Paul W.S. Anderson directing, and I'm a little worried about that. I'm a little worried about that because there later films that he's done. Oh my goodness! I hope he hired a good cameraman this time around. I really do. I really hope that they hired a good cameraman this time, because if you look at the last, well, if you look at all the Resident Evil movies that he directed, close up shots, cut, lots of cutting, overused slow mo where there's no need for a slow mo. Always a slow mo in certain shots that didn't need no slow mo. Afterlife was the worst offender on that shit. Ooh, excuse me. Again, swearing a lot. I don't mean to. Yeah, I agree with Fiona here. People need to reconnect with the fantastic and wondrous. Yes. In other words, like basically, just look at some old movies and just don't pick out what made them. No, really watch old movies and see why they held up so much to this day. Because I looked at. Speaking of which, I'm gonna get a little bit off topic again. I recently watched scenes from Troy, battle scenes from Troy, from Gladiator, even Two Towers, and remembering how good it was to watch epic scenes. You know what I'm saying? And I was reading through the comments of each battle, and they were comparing these battles to the Game of Thrones long night battle, which I didn't see. I I haven't the only season I stopped at was I believe season 6. I was actually marathoning that while I was visiting my mom. Um, I think I was watching it last year or the year before when I was visiting visiting LA. I took the time to they had cable and HBO, so I basically took the advantage to marathon Game of Thrones. Yep, yep, you're right. It's why they come back to it. It's like older movies just I could explain. We can go all day about why older movies work so damn much, work so well. It's because it seems like now that when technology gets better and better, it makes it too lazy, far too lazy. It's like you press a button and the thing does it for you at times. And I'm saying this right now. It is not easy working with CGI. It is not. Trust me. The way how they have to get the texture right, get the lighting right, it is not. I'm pretty sure if I was working with CGI, I'll be, I'll probably be, I go bald like my dad. You know what I'm saying? working with that amount of time and effort to put the textures in, put the lighting in, make sure it fits right with the actors and stuff like that. But also, it's not easy working with practical effects either. You gotta get the painting right. You gotta make sure it's not breaking down. You definitely gotta make sure nobody gets hurt on the set with interacting with practical effects, especially stuntmen. Stuntmen, yeah, stuntmen are like the best in the business. They get injured a lot. Watch Corridor Crew about that one. Stuntman reacts. If you haven't checked them out, check out Corridor Crew. They there's been a lot of good stuntmen on there, especially one of my favorite stunt women, Amy Houston. I'm probably saying her last name wrong, but Amy Houston, she's received some battle scars. She's received some battle scars. Yep. Again, Fiona, I have to agree. Writing and acting had to be better since they had to use more practical effects, which also requires finesse. Tripping, no finesse. No, I can't. But other than that, yeah, Rampage was one of my top favorite video game movies, next to Mortal Kombat. Even dare I say it, even the Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15. I actually like that one, and also Final Fantasy 7 Advent Children Complete Edition. I got the Complete Edition, and I got the original DVD version too. I got both of those versions. Though I when it comes down to Advent Children, I kind of like the DVD version a lot better. Let's just say in the Blu-ray, they focused too much on a character that I didn't really care that much about in the original release. I was like, I did not need more scenes with this person. He didn't really. This person didn't really do much in this movie, and he still didn't do much at all in that movie. I mean, he has one moment where he does do something, but that's just it. He doesn't really do much. So why are we getting more scenes with this character? Now the ad scenes with say Reno and Rude, even even Kadash, the main villain Kadash, and his remnants, that was needed. That was needed. We did not need more scenes with this one rando character that we never even heard about, but suddenly he's supposed to be like the kind of like the main driving force for Cloud, aside from Aerith and Zack pushing them along and stuff, and Tifa. But that, yeah, I still watch the complete edition, but that's only because I watch it because of the extra scenes with characters I do care about, and I have been playing the original game on my Xbox One, and I haven't even got through disc one yet. I've been out of Midgard. You know what I'm saying? I've been out of Midgard thus far. I'm just like, I haven't gotten to where the real good stuff comes in yet. And I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 8, and I'm itching to play Final Fantasy 9. But I was what I really was going to do was I was going to try to beat Final Fantasy 7, then move on to Final Fantasy 8, and then get on to 9. And I broke my rule and ended up playing Final Fantasy 8. So I might as well play a little bit of Final Fantasy 9 whenever I get the chance. But there's something about old stuff just really really like keeps you going in a way. And also same thing with old school video game movies have a place. They're good for what they are. The Max Payne movie was terrible. I never even played Max Payne, and I know it was. I saw Max Payne the movie. That was terrible. Mark Wahlberg was not Max Payne. They could have picked a better actor for Max Payne. Like say What's that dude who played he played in Warzone Punisher. He could have been Max Payne. Heck, if they was to do Splinter Cell, he could have been the main character in Splinter Cell, the movie. Final Fantasy IX has sci-fi elements I enjoy, bigger though likable characters. Yep. Well, that's the thing. Ever since PlayStation hit, every just about every Final Fantasy game had more of a sci-fi element, whereas the original games kind of had like a bit of a, I know Ishii don't count this as punk, but steampunk element to it, or at least actually no, actually the Final Fantasy games of 6 and back had the steampunk genre where that Ishii might like. I don't know. I don't know what I can't speak for Ishii, but I'll probably mention that in next time when we talk about when he talk about his little cyberpunk stream. But yeah, since the PlayStation era, that's when everything started moving into more of a techno, cyberpunky-ish sci-fi spin. Just about every Final Fantasy game after, say for that the Final Fantasy MMOs, but like from 7 all the way up to now has always been like this futuristic fantasy setting, and 7 was like the prominent one that actually like had that genre cemented in it. It had its moments where you had flying ships, holo well in remake holograms now, which I'm not keen on the 7 remake. I'm not feeling that one as much. As much as the combat looks better in that game, I'm just not feeling with the story they're going with 7 remake. It feels too Kingdom Heart ish to me. Which Nomura, not everything needs to be Kingdom Hearts. I think Nomura is now the head of everything Final Fantasy, right? Yeah, again, y'all can correct me in the comments or comment later, but Nomura, not everything needs to be Kingdom Hearts. Storytelling wise, gameplay wise, it does not need to be Kingdom Hearts. Stop it. Just focus on, if you want to do anything Kingdom Hearts, focus on Kingdom Hearts. If you want to make a new Kingdom Hearts game, then make a new Kingdom Hearts game. Don't bring it to a Final Fantasy game. Stop it. I'm done with you always putting Kingdom Hearts in my face. I stopped at Kingdom Hearts 2. I played a little bit of I played Chain of Memories for a while, but after that I was like so tired because like as soon as I started jumping platforms, like I'm not supposed to be wasting a lot of money to buy another system to play your damn games, Nomura. I'm not supposed to get a DS, a 3DS, or a PSP just to play any of the not spin-offs, any of the stories that for me to make sense of your story. Basically, I'm not supposed to be doing all that, especially at the time when we had a recession. When we got out of a recession, actually, I'm a little worried. I'm really worried to even think about what would happen if they ever decided to do a Final Fantasy live action movie. The outrage. Oh, I definitely would love to be there for the outrage. Uh, Cloud is supposed to be Japanese because it's made by a Japanese. No, Cloud is American. He looks American. He does not have slant eyes. He may be a Japanese voice actor, maybe talking for him, but he is by no means a Japanese character. He's Japanese created, but he's not technically Japanese. Same thing with Tifa. Only Japanese characters I've noticed was Tifa's master, I believe. I could be wrong. Again, I could be wrong. Yuffie. Yuffie. That's why I said every single time when they brought out a new game, every single time. Yeah, I don't know what that means though. I really do not know what that means really. Is it going to go full stop to what where things are supposed to happen, or is it going to go off on a different branch of timeline? Because that ending, I've never played the game, but I know the ending. I know what happens towards the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'm not feeling that. I am not feeling that at all, and that's mostly it's probably due to the fact that I've been playing the original version all this time. But at the same time, like I especially didn't care about the whole new guy that's like giving you these new spears and when every time you scan and analyze enemies, he's giving you like these new. I'm like, what is this? I do like the mini games though. Spirits Within would have been would have been good had it not been called Final Fantasy. I will say that. I will tell you. Actually, you know what? Now that you said that, let me go into to what I would do for certain video game movies. If I were to be a director myself or a writer myself for a video game movie, I'll tell you what I would do for any like as a matter of fact any how about you guys do this in the comments? Give me a video game and I'll tell you how I would go about it, how I would write it, how I direct it, or what I put into it, and see if you think that would fly with you as a fan of that game. But let me start off with let me start off with Final Fantasy. I'll go with Final Fantasy. I'll go with my cast definitely. So if I had to cast characters for Cloud, my two picks would have been either Charlie Hunnam or Aaron Taylor Johnson. And if he wasn't available, I would go with Daniel O'Brien, the guy from Maze Runner. But that's only because I would pick those because looks and action stunt work. They both do their own stunts. All three of those guys do their own stunts. I would pick Charlie Hunnam. If you don't not know who Charlie Hunnam is, he's the lead actor in Sons of Anarchy, and he was also the lead actor in Pacific Rim. Right, the pilot of Gypsy Danger with Mako Mori. That guy. I like him because he's got this deep voice he got. He could probably nail Cloud's voice really good with his voice, and I'm sure Aaron Taylor Johnson could probably do it too. The guy who played Kick Ass and he was also in Godzilla 2014 and Quicksilver. He I pick him too, and yeah, that's another reason why I'll pick them too because they're lean. They're very lean. Like freaking. I think his name is Dylan. I could be wrong. Maze Runner guy. Let's go with the name I always get him. Maze Runner guy. He's very lean. He's also well built. Like, dude, if you seen him in American Assassin, he do not look like Maze Runner no more in that movie. I looked up like that's the dude from Maze Runner, bruh. You do not look like that dude no more. You do not look like Thomas at all. What have you been doing lately? You've been getting them gains, man. I'm like, he is like, dude, you are far from Maze Runner. You like, I want to see you in more movies so you can get away from Maze Runner. I want to see how far you can get at this point, man. But he would be my pick as Cloud if the first two were not available. Tifa, that's a tough one for sure. It wouldn't be like the most prominent actresses, and I'm not doing it. And let me put this out there. This kind of casting is not for woke points or brownie points, but I would definitely cast an Asian actress. But that's not the reason why I would cast her. Not because I think Tifa should be played by an Asian woman, but that's on. But really, truth be told, I would go with Asian woman by virtue. I couldn't find no American actress that would best properly represent her look, aside from a cosplayer. But yeah, I wouldn't pick the Asian because of virtue signaling. It's mostly because I wouldn't be able to find an American actress that will fit her look accurately. That's what I'm saying. Again, aside from a cosplayer. Barrett. I hate to bring up dead actors. I really do. I hate to bring up dead actors, but it would have been definitely Michael Clark Duncan for Barrett. Or we can go to the next best thing. Terry Crews. Terry Crews. All spice, all blah, 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 blah. That guy. He would definitely be Barrett Wallace. But if those guys, but if Terry Crews wasn't available, I would have to go with Luke Cage on this one. The Mike Coulter, the guy who plays Luke Cage in the Netflix Luke Cage show. He would definitely be my next best thing. Or the guy who played Black Manta from Aquaman. I think his name is dang it, Yayi Abdul. I don't know the rest of his last name, but yeah, that guy. He'll be my third pick. Aerith would be a tough choice. Aerith would be definitely a tough choice because you have to find somebody who's sunny, optimistic, and bubbly. The actress would have to fit that personality. She would have to be sunny and bubbly at the same time. Kind of like, you guys can help me out. Who could probably play Aerith? Who could look like Aerith too? By the way, yeah, I'd agree there, Fiona. For once, no more dead parents. No more dead parents. And I do tend to get tired of dead parent cliches, though I'm a little bit lenient with that half the time. My issue with when it comes to dead parents is that the parent dies after an argument has been made, or after the parent argues with the child. You know what I'm saying? That's the one recurring thing I'm starting to hate when it comes to the dead parent cliche. The child and the parent has to fight, and then the parent dies. I get tired of that. Like why can't they have a nice and joyful conversation and then the parent dies? Sometimes. But that's a running theme when it comes to yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's one thing I hate about Man of Steel. Jonathan Kent dies after having an argument with Clark. They always have these they die after not having these after having these unfinished conflicts. that they never found a solution to, or never resolved. And then you get it later on in Batman v Superman, where he sees the ghost of his dad on a mountain. I'm like, no, no, this is no. Mm-mm. Like I said, I want to go back to where like freaking Spider-Man gets a pass, because that didn't come to a form of fight. It just came to a form of outburst. You know what I'm saying? On Peter's part, like he just gave him some wisdom, and Peter just thinking that like he's getting tired of the lecture and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, that's the one thing I get tired of is the fact that they tend to the parent tends to die after having an argument with the child. Hopefully, I'll still be here, Eloise. We can be at this all day if you like. I I I, I like to use my streams as a way for you guys to kill time, for y'all to go into the real nitty gritty streams, like the professor's stream, or Ishi's stream, or Troy's stream. Everybody who has a stream now, like that streams in the very very evening, you can guys use this as a bed to kill time. Even if that, if you guys are here for my entertainment, that's also fine. But if you guys are here just to kill time, that's also fine. I don't mind being a pre-show before y'all get into the real shows. Is what I'm saying. But other than that, like I love that you guys are here. I really do. I love that you guys are here. I appreciate it, and I'm loving how you guys are how you guys are sticking with me this long. And I know this is like I said, it's impromptu, it's unprecedented, you know, but I am glad that you guys are here. So thank you. But shit, let me look at my. Let's go back to Doom for a spell. That Doom Annihilation movie that came out years later after the first Doom, and that came out in 2003. I didn't see that movie. I didn't want to watch it. Most because Not because of the virtue of it not being Doom guy in the movie, but it just screams like they had no idea what to do with this with Doom as a movie. Oh shit, I'm jumping topics again. Actually, I'll say that. We're past that. Let me go back to my casting for Final Fantasy 7. Sorry, I'm a little off topic again. That happens. We all know that happens. Uh, so we already got. We're on Earth. I'm a little hesitant to say Jennifer Lawrence for Aerith. Hesitant. She does have that upbeat personality and down to earth a bit, but I don't know if she can do bubbly. But I'm a little hesitant to cast Jennifer Lawrence as Aerith. Yeah, the 2003 one had The Rock, Fiona. Yeah, yeah, that's the one that had The Rock, and also had Judge Dredd from Dredd 2011, 10. Kurt Urban, and another huge. There a lot of people there that later became high profile over time, like Rosamund Pike. She hit big when she did Gone Girl, and some other stuff. I didn't even talk about the Silent Hill movies. I'll get to that maybe. I mean, if you guys want to stick around, like yeah, I can talk about my take on the Silent Hill movies, but yeah, Aerith, it'll be Jennifer Lawrence, or or Car- uh, Her name is in my brain, but I'm having a hard time trying to say it right. But Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy all the way up to Endgame. Karen Gillian, I think her name was. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She would be my next pick for Aerith because she has that sunny smile, and that's my criteria for what makes a good Aerith portrayal in a movie. You have that sunny smile, that kind of bubbly personality. I don't know if she would taken the role, but she would have been my pick too. There's also Gemma from Agents of Shield. The actress who played Gemma from Agents of Shield, and I'm talking about season 1 Gemma, not season 5. I do not like season 5 Gemma. I seen season 5. I did not like season 5 Gemma. She's a total broad. Can't say I don't. I try not to say the other. I tend to not overuse the other 4-letter word to describe a mean woman, but I go for the next best thing, abroad. And I know the feminists hate that word too, so I use it. I use it like a handgun. But that by no means none of you guys are broads. Only the ones that you know Fiona, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I would. Those would be my 3 picks for Aerith. Now, how would they act it? I wouldn't know. Sea level punt. I don't even know who was that. Was that I don't even know what that even is related to, but I like it though. I like it. Now, Vincent will be a difficult one to cast. Again, hate to bring up dead actors, but Brandon Lee would have been my pick for Vincent Valentine. But he will also, but it's only because he did really well with The Crow, and nice, nice. But yeah, oops, 4-letter word. I mean 5-letter word. I can't do math right now. I suck at math. But yeah, yeah. Back to Vincent Valentine casting. He would have been Brandon Lee would have been my pick. Even if it wouldn't have mattered how old he would have been by that point. If I would have jumped into movies, he would have been my pick. I'm hesitant to cast Adam Driver as Vincent Valentine, Kylo Ren from the sequel trilogy. If anybody don't know, he's done a lot of stuff besides the sequel trilogy. I know that, like Lucky Logan or Logan Lucky with Channing Tatum. Um, Sid is an easy pick. I can't wait to get to him. I'm gonna speed through this. So yeah, Brandon Lee, maybe Adam Driver, or Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves would have been my next pick, and I'll throw in a 4th one for this one, and that would have to be nah, not him. I would love to put him in, but he doesn't have acting range that much, and he was in the Covenant. Maybe Sebastian Stan, Winter Soldier, would have been my also next pick for Vincent Valentine. As if you guys are okay with Vincent Valentine having a cleft chin. If you know what that means, butt chin. If you guys don't mind him having a butt chin, yeah, definitely Sebastian Stan would have been my fourth pick if any of those guys. Well, Brandon Lee by virtue of him being dead, but the other two before Sebastian Stan would definitely be, if they weren't available, they would be it would be Sebastian Stan as Vincent Valentine. Now Sid, easy pick for Sid. John Cena. John Cena would have been Sid for my casting. It would have been John Cena. Either him or ooh ooh Thomas Jane would have been my next go to Sid or but yeah, like John Cena would have been my top pick for Sid, but Thomas Jane would have been my next, and like on his name right now. Basically, you pick any guy who's played a hard drinking, hard sob would play Sid, but I'm going with my top picks would have been John Cena, Thomas Jane, and hmm maybe the guy who plays the Hound or David Harbour. David Harbour. Yep. Play a John Cena theme song in the background. Nah, 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 nah. Can't sid me. You can't sid me. Nah, I can't. Oh man. Oh yeah, he would have been. Yeah, John Cena would have been my top pick for Sid. I think that will cover all the heroes because if I had to get into Kate Sith and Red 13, they would have to be CGI. For voice acting though, I would have to go with Bradley Cooper for Red 13. Either him or maybe Liam Neeson to voice Red 13. Or if you really want, if I want to go with somebody youthful, because Red 13 is technically a youthful sorts, even though his speech, I think his speech patterns kind of like denounce his youthfulness. But if you really get to the bare bones of his side story, especially with his father, there's a youthful side to him, and I would go with again, it goes down to it would have been Chris Evans, maybe, but if I wanted to cast him as a voice talent, I would have been like, you know what, you got a lot of stuff going against you right now. You need to. I'm gonna wait for you to calm that down. Calm that down first, and then we'll get you ready for this role. But as right now, you in the public eye too much, and you get into trouble too much. You need to stop. But Chris Pratt, I would definitely would pick Chris Pratt for to be youthful. I mean, if I wanted Red 13 to inject that youthful side to him, I'm pretty sure Chris Pratt would have worked with it. I have my optimism working here. You know what I'm saying? Either him or Paul Rudd. Now, that's a lot of casting for Red 13 because again, it's voice acting. So you know, Kate Sith would be definitely it would have been Robin Williams had he not you know tra- again. I'm going back to dead actors again. I'm sorry. I keep apologizing. I know, but he would have been great as Kate Sith. Great as Kate Sith. But I would also go for the next best character actor. Maybe Jim Carrey. Maybe he's got some issues he needs to work out first, though. It's either Robin Williams had he not passed, sadly, rest his soul, or Jim Carrey once he works out his issues, or Um, Frank Welker, he's still around. He's still kicking. Or basically any good voice actor of old, you could shoot my way, and I'll cast him as Kate Sid. I think that covers all the heroes, and yeah. Oh, Yuffie. Mm, Definitely would cast an Asian for this one. Again, not for virtual signaling, not for brownie points, but the way how they design Wu Tai. I'm going by virtue of the way how Wu Tai is designed in Final Fantasy VII. Wu Tai seems to appear to be a bit more Chinese Oriental ish, with a little bit of Japanese mix to it, because Yuffie's a ninja, obviously. But I probably would have went with either. Hmm. She's a bit too tall for Yuffie though, but I would go with Rinko Kikuchi from again Pacific Rim, Mako Mori. Sorry, Mako Mori, or maybe Ji Zhang from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Godzilla King of the Monsters, or or that one chick from Great Wall, Gilbert Godfrey for Shinra. Mm, hmm. President Shinra. You just want to hear him sound like a screechy villain, don't you, Fiona? You devilish person, you. I probably. Mm, if Gilbert Godfrey was a Final Fantasy character, oh, you know who I would cast Gilbert Godfrey? The Don. Get him in a fat suit and just have him just screech his heart out. Ask the Don. Ask the Don. Don. What's his name again? Don something. That's how little I care about that character. If I don't even remember his name. Hojo would have been a different. That would have been a difficult cast. Hojo would be difficult to cast because I need somebody to be slimy, unapologetically evil, just no morals whatsoever. Don Carino, yeah, no morals whatsoever, just all there for the science, just greasily evil. That's how I describe Hojo. He just oozes with grease that is called evil. I'm I'm virgin on Tom Hiddleston, but Tom Hiddleston will play them too sophisticatedly. He'll be too sophisticated as Hojo. I need somebody to be maybe Willem Dafoe. Maybe Willem Dafoe would be a good pick for Hojo, or Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz would be a good casting for Hojo. Heck, he played a Nazi. That's already criteria right there to play Hojo. Um. So yeah, those will be my picks for Hojo. Either Willem Dafoe, Christoph Waltz. Um. Next best thing, should those guys would not. I'm talking about if I had to get them on the horn to ask them to play as these characters, if they were willing to join to pick these characters. That's what I'm talking about. Like, not like fan casting. Well, when we talk about fan casting, people are so dead set on what they want when they fan cast. They know for sure that these actors would fill these roles. But like, no, I'm talking about if I had to really get into casting, knowing reality, most of these people would not be either up for it, or they probably weren't available for it. But I think that'd be the only two picks I have for Hojo, either Willem Dafoe or Christoph Waltz, and they wouldn't look that out of place at all. Uh, what's that countess name again? The one in the red dress, the blonde haired woman. Nah, I'm not that. Uh, I was gonna say Brie Larson, but like, nah. That's too easy. That's too easy. I hate the reference Jared Leto's Joker there, but I have to throw that. That's too easy. Nah, Margot Robbie would definitely be my next pick for that lady. Blanking on her name, the Countess though. She's just devilishly evil too. That's how I just best describe her villainy. She's devilishly evil, especially what she did to Barrett's town, mining town, and Don. Ooh, actually, you know what? The lady who played Six and BS. What is BSG? The lady who played Six and BSG. You got to fill me in on that one. I don't know what you mean by BSG. BSG. Now you got me fascinated with it with this acronym. BSG 6. Who was named Six in a movie or a game? Six. 2000. Bounce. Okay. Oh, Six from Battlestar Galactica, the 2000 remake. Six. That. Mm, you know what? That's not a bad. Yeah, that's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick. Yeah. hmm Either her, Margot Robbie. Can't be Kate Black. Yeah, I would love to cast Kate Blanchett, but she's not villain material. Not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. Either those two or heck, let's go with Sharon Stone or Michelle Pfeiffer or even now I'm blanking on her name. Charlize Theron for the Countess. I'm saving President Rufus Shinra for last because I'm still thinking of who could play that role. Uh, what's that general's name, dude? That general's name? He's that other dude too. He screwed up too, but for him definitely we'll go with probably Jeffrey Dean Morgan or the guy who played the Mountain again. The guy who played the Mountain, not the dude who played the Mountain. The dude who played the Hound from Game of Thrones, or again David Harbour. Either those guys or yeah, I agree. Fiona Wolf, Sharon Stone. She's a well regarded actress, but is she still in the acting biz though? That's the question. Has she retired already? But I definitely would cast Michelle Pfeiffer or again Charlize Theron or maybe even Angelina Jolie. She's played a villain before a few times. Um, let's get to Rufus Shinra, not Rufus Shinra. President Shinra. He would have to be again. This is too easy. Charles Dance, Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones, and a few other characters that he's been in from before anybody even recognized him in Game of Thrones. But it'd been Charles Dance for Rufus. I keep saying Rufus. President Shinra. Either him or Ray Fiennes, Voldemort for President Shinra. Ray Fiennes. Is that how you pronounce his name? Or Fiennes? Or I think it's Fiennes. He played Voldemort. He played the Tooth Fairy in Red Dragon. And maybe who played a good villain too? Maybe Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men and Mother. He played God and Mother. Mother was a reference to the entire Bible throughout that whole movie. That's what was going on in that movie. If you guys ever seen it, didn't understand it, Mother was basically just the Bible in one house. That also had Jennifer Lawrence in that one. Yeah, Javier Bardem would probably been a good pick for President Shinra, because he plays evil really, really well. Now Rufus will definitely be a tough challenge. Rufus, who would be Rufus? I'll tell you who wouldn't be Rufus. Bat Emo. That would not be my pick for Rufus. So we're ruling him out. Speaking of Robert Pattinson, I hope he does get well. If the headline is true about his condition, I do hope he gets well. Now that's one thing. That's one thing I gotta say. Like for your Brie Larsons, for your Mark Ruffalo's and your Sarah Silvermans, I'm never, no matter what, I'm never the type to wish anything bad on people, no matter what they've done. Well, okay, if they commit the two worst crimes, that's my only exception. But if they're doing stuff like saying political BS nonsense, I don't wish anything on them. But if they commit like murder and the four-letter word that the feminists are so fixated on a lot, yeah, they can run in the cell for all I care. Because it's, yeah, but that I digress. Rufus Shinra would be dang, who, maybe Jamie Lannister from Game of Thrones. I can never see Nicholas Waldo. I think I know his first name is Nicholas or Nicholas. I can never seem to pronounce his last name. Either him, because he plays a smarmy, smug SOB. For the next best thing would be he was in my brain, but I just straight up lost him, because I know I picked Jamie Lannister, but who was next on my mind? I'm blanking on his name again. I'm blanking on the image. I had him too. I got distracted by trying to say Jamie Lannister's real name, but he was one of my he would have been one of my best picks of Rufus Shinra. Jamie Lannister and I might come back to that later. Let's move on. Actually, you know what? Let's get to the granddaddy of them all. The granddaddy villain. The granddaddy villain of Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth. Now, I said this in many of my circles before. I would have casted either Benedict Cumberbatch or Michael Fassbender as Sephiroth, but that's only because if I had to make a change with Sephiroth, as far as personality wise, I mean, and fans of the game will hate me for it, but I'm willing to take that hit. And the only reason I'm casting these two is because they have the imposing figure for Sephiroth. Michael Fassbender is tall, should be tall enough to play Sephiroth, or at least we can level the camera enough to make him look imposing. But Michael Fassbender has that cadence that I like that speaks Sephiroth. Same thing with Benedict Cumberbatch with his role as Smaug in the Desolation of Smaug. I love his take on Smaug. That's why I would pick Benedict Cumberbatch. If those guys were not available, I would definitely pick who's the next best guy, and he has to be tall too. Luke Evans. No, actually, no, 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 no. Luke Evans would have been my next pick for Rufus Shinra. That's who I was blanking on. That's who I would pick if Nicholas was not available. I would pick Luke Evans as Rufus Shinra. The only problem I have with Luke Evans probably being Rufus Shinra is that he'll be too serious. His face is too serious for Rufus Shinra. Because we all know Rufus Shinra has a suave demeanor to him. I pretty sure. Well, actually, you know what? I think Luke Evans would nail the suaveness because I'm pretty. I saw bits and pieces of the live adaptation of. I'm calling for what it is. Live adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, and he did a good Gaston. I think so. I don't know. But yeah, he would have been my next pick for Rufus Shinra. But back to Sephiroth. Yeah, Michael Fassbender would have been my major pick. That's the one person I would want to be Sephiroth is Michael Fassbender next to Benedict Cumberbatch being the next best thing. But if I had to go for a third option, probably ooh, my pedigree of move. I'm blanking out on my movies. I'm about to probably have to look through my collection at this point. Probably but he probably wouldn't want to be a villain at this point now. But Henry Cavill would probably be a good Sephiroth, maybe. But yeah, Michael Fassbender would be my. But I think that's it for what I would do if I did a. Now let's get into what I would do for a Final Fantasy movie. Actually, no, I wouldn't even do a movie. I would do a show. Actually, that's probably what would have been the best thing to do for Final Fantasy live action adaptation. It would have to be a show. So let's go with the first season. First season would be all about Midgard. It'll been I would basically just start off with the train station and end the season on them leaving Midgard. Second season would go into them traveling around. Probably go to meet Sid, maybe. Go, get right to the point. Go off and find Sephiroth. Get to the get to the swamp, ride the chocobos and stuff like that. Get to see Sephiroth's power by slaying the monster's mate. Um, we get to Sid. Third season will be excuse me. Third season would just basically be the weapons arc, where the weapons awaken, red weapon, emerald weapon, all those weapons. I think that's probably what would have been where I would head season 3 because I would like even if they probably give me enough money to make maybe 5 seasons, I would not go that far. There's far too much material to cover in Final Fantasy 7 that don't need to be covered that much. So the way how I write my stories, I try to aim for getting to the point. I don't want to try. I try not. I try. I want to try my best not to string you guys along. I want you guys to keep going at a good pace. And some things don't really need to be picked up on. Now I would definitely do some hijinks. Like we'll get to the Don Corino. I won't pass that up. I definitely won't pass up the maybe the Golden Saucer. I probably omit that one. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll maybe save that one for later for the second season. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Fiona. So much stuff has been like yeah. Golden Saucer will be too much padding. Only time, the only real way to really introduce Golden Saucer is if they need to get that specific item that they need to progress that you need to progress through the story to get that point. And you know what I'm talking about. You probably know what I'm talking about at this point. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But from what I heard, you have to go to. I think I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You have to go to Golden Saucer to obtain that item to progress the story. You know. Um, but the ultimate aim will be to end it with Cloud Strife taking out Sephiroth with the cross his final move, that famous final move that does 9999999. I have to say it like that. I like saying it like that. It's funny that way. We all know what that move is. Omni Slash, Omni Slash. I think it was called Omni Slash. Y'all can correct me in the comments. But that's my goal would have been if I were to adapt Final Fantasy VII into live action. Those would be my cast picks, and that would be been what I would how I would plot it. First season will be Midgard. Second season will be the quest for Sephiroth, as I will name it. Um, Third season will be weapons arc, and I guess if we do cover it into the fourth season will be final season, and it would you'll get Genova, you'll get all that stuff, but we'll trim out the fat with the hijinks and all that other mini game stuff that you have to do in certain areas. We don't need to do all that. Ooh, speaking of, you know what? You know our cast as Dine, Barrett's friend, turned terrorist. Um, it would have to be I'm blanking on his name. Frank Grillo, the guy who played Crossbones in Captain America: Civil War. Frank Grillo would have been Dine. He would have been my top pick. Nobody would play Dine except for Frank Grillo. As a matter of fact, if Frank Grillo didn't want to be Dine, he would definitely be my next pick as Sid. If John Cena was not available, Dine would either been played by Frank Grillo or Sid would have been played by Frank Grillo. Or that dude who or Dine would have been that dude who also was in Captain America Winter Soldier. The guy with the scar on his jaw. He was also in what movie was he also in? He was in a lot of movies, but he was a minor role type person though. I can't remember his name, but he would have been my next pick for Dine. But that's what I would do for Final Fantasy. Now, would y'all like to know what I would do with the Resident Evil films? Because I had a lot to say about the Resident Evil films, and I actually talked to a friend years back, about how I would have helmed the Resident Evil films franchise, or if I was in charge of rebooting the franchise. Um, I know I would have gave the fans what they want. Characters, the characters from the games, but I also wouldn't have mind also doing the original characters too. If anything, if I was to go with Resident Evil original characters, I would have done a Resident Evil movie with original characters as a reboot. I would have gone with the same style as Resident Evil 7, Biohazard 7, but I would not put in the redneck family. But I definitely would not do it like Uwe Boll did with his with the House of the Dead. Yeah, you know what? It's sacrilege to mention to even the mere mention of Uwe Boll and his stint on video game movies. Ugh, ugh. Just thinking about that man, just ugh. Just the mere sight of that man, just ugh. He looks like a creeper. He looks like the type that looks like that likes to look at young women. I'm not talking about young girls. I'm talking about young women. Yeah, yeah, Fiona. That's what I mean. That's what I was talking about earlier when I mentioned about the Resident Evil. And like I said, what goes well with my movie criteria, my opinion, is that if you're creating original characters, at least you don't have to butcher main characters from the games. And I'm not saying that to throw original characters under the bus like that. It's like we don't like that's the thing. I don't mind original characters either. Just make them well written. You know what I'm saying? And I don't put these two at this in the same. The Red Queen is not in the same league as GLaDOS. Sorry, I don't mean to disagree with you, but yeah, Red Queen AI from the movie and GLaDOS is top tier AI, not the I will give the Red Queen this. The Red Queen has humanity to her. She has the she's based. I don't want to throw that in, but she almost have three laws safe in her. She has three laws in her almost. She's willing to bend the she's willing to break the three laws in order to save humanity. I will give her that. The needs of the many are what in a way needs of the many kind of thing. She's willing to break the three laws. She's supposed to have three laws safe on her. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like she there's a nice humanity to her to some extent. She's homicidal, yes, as they like to point out. She's very homicidal, and somehow your comment is not popping up. I don't know why, but there it is. I will just read it. She only has a touch though, just enough to make it Yeah, that's what I mean. Like yeah, but like I said, compared to GLaDOS, which is a sadist, she's just kind of low tier. Um, yeah, if I had to go with main characters from the game, I'd definitely start the first movie with actually here's what I would have done with the franchise. I would go with anthology. I would went anthology with it. So first movie would started with Chris and Jill and Barry and Wesker. Second movie would go definitely well duh if anything yeah it would be definitely anthology. It would go first movie Chris and Jill's story. Um, Second movie Leon and Claire's story. Third movie um, I think third movie I'm going to have to I'm going to have to do what Anderson did with his movies, diverge. So there might be some games that I'll have to omit just to fit the narrative proper. Because if I want to make a final movie, all these characters have to come together at some point. You guys get what I'm saying? All these characters have to come together at some point at the end, especially if I'm doing it cannot talk anthologically. There you go, anthologically, if that's a word. So yeah, Leon cleared for the second one. Um, I don't think I'll cover Jill and Carlos or Rebecca and Billy. I think they'll turn up. I'll have them turn up somewhere in the third movie, but it's at the risk of not establishing them properly, but they would pop up, but they're not going to pop up just to die or not do a thing. Like like Rebecca will be the medic, Billy will be probably be the heavy. Like this will be branching into the bioterrorism arc into the to the film franchise is what I'm talking about. Because I kind of like that angle where it went with the game franchise so far. I just don't think it was handled properly. Is what I'm saying. So if I had to do it in the movie, it would definitely them fighting like it'll be two laboratories. Let's go with that. It'll be two major laboratories from Umbrella that they take out, right? And then Umbrella will be finished, non-existent. They'll be done. They'll be gone. When we talk about Umbrella anymore at that point, Umbrella will be finished. But then we'll get into bioterrorism, and that's where we can create maybe original villains for the movie's sake only, not for the games, for the movie's sake. You dig? And that's what I've done for that one. Would you let's go with the casting? Let's go with the casting for Jill. This is a tough one right there, right now. Um, Jill Valentine, from all that I've seen thus far, I'm not counting the remake. I do not like. Let me get that out there right now. I do not like that Jill in the remake, the Resident Evil 3 remake. I do not like that Jill. I'm sorry, I do not. I don't like her personality. Disregard her design aside, still don't like that design. I do not like her personality at all. She's a grade A C word in that version compared to how she was portrayed in the original third game. I did not like that Jill. I mean, she had her bright spots in the beginning, but like it's like she was devolving to like ugh. I wouldn't say SJW type character. It's the it's not really the QTE per se. It does have QTE parts in it. It's QTE light. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, that's it's the one where Nemesis is for the most part wearing a trash bag trench coat. That's what I call it now. That's what everybody's calling it, trash bag trench coat. That's what he's wearing basically. Yeah, I may mention this earlier before you probably didn't hear me talk about or you probably did, I don't know, but yeah, is Age Boomer still here? Let me know, Age, if you're still here and you're probably doing something else. Excuse me, I'm scratching my beard right now. It's itching. It's growing again. My hair grow back fast, guys, but it doesn't grow nearly enough. That's the sad part. And yet I'm a werewolf. Yeah, that's the game I'm talking about. I do not like that version of Jill. I do not. She is annoying in that game, especially when she meets the mercenaries, and she's like, oh my, she's so distant and just and I get it. I get the situation and everything, but the way how she goes up, oh my goodness, oh my, like every time when she throws a snarky comment at remake Carlos, I like this is not a competition, Jill. You need each other to. I'm like, Jill, stop being antagonistic towards people. At this point, you need all the help you can get out of Raccoon City. Stop being a meanie. Stop it. Priorities, woman. You're working with what is count the enemy. But I digress. That like I still watch there's one YouTuber called Survival Horror Network's playthrough of it because I like his playthroughs. You know what I'm saying? But every single time when she acts like that, I'm like, oh, takes me out of the game every single time. That's why I never even bother playing that game. Same thing with Resident Evil 2 remake. I kind of like Claire in Resident Evil 2 remake. Yeah, they did, but they don't touch on it enough. That's the problem. They it was a narrative thing. It was always a narrative thing. You feel me? It should like there's one scene where she has a nightmare. I don't think these people knew exactly what how PTSD work. I don't even know how PTSD work at all. But there was never a moment where like maybe she hallucinated a zombie attacking her and she snaps out of it, you know? Or hallucinating Chris dying or something, you know? There's never a moment like that, or like she's like there's never a moment where she's having a panic attack, especially when she's encountering Nemesis. She just gung hoing, running around, throwing out one lines like, "You want stars? I'll give you." Oh, and the line, the famous line used in a scene in a running sequence where she can get interrupted by Nemesis if she gets attacked. It sounds so ridiculous when you really see when you really see it in action. Like she said, "You want to start?" I get uh. I'm like, wow, way to make her sound badass, Capcom. Idiots. One step forward, two steps back, every single time. But back to what who are cast for Jill. Mm, have to be it will probably be the lady from Jessica Jones, or maybe her friend, the one who played her friend Trish. Maybe between those two, or if we have to go famous, maybe Maria Hill. Maria, if I had to pick somebody famous, it would definitely be either Maria Hill or I don't know her name. I'm sorry. I think her first name is Carla. Maybe I could be wrong. Um, it would definitely be the actress who played Maria Hill, or um, what's her name? She was the one who played in John Wick, the assassin lady that tried to kill John Wick, and she was also Mockingbird from Agents of Shield. Should have been my next pick. I think her name was Adrian Palicki. Adrian Palicki or something. I think her name was. Her or I had another person lined up. I'm blanking on their image right now. Y'all can help me in the comments. Give me some ideas. Give me some names. Um, Adrian Palicki, Maria Hill. Actually, I wouldn't use the Jessica Jones actresses. Not those two. Yeah, let's scrub them. So it'd be Maria Hill, Adrian Palicki, um, Jamie Kennedy, the lady who played Lady Sif in the Thor movies. She'll be my next pick too. Um, her or somebody else. Chris will have been difficult because He had to be youthful. Again, it goes down to that youthful thing. Fiona had something to say. And she said, I remember someone on Twitter saying most modern writers mistake quirks, ticks for character development. Not every character in horror setups will manifest PTAs. Maybe in a Cthulhu setup, though. Yeah, yeah, I know. I tend to just tend to like. uh, You weren't here when I said this. Names are very important to me. So like, whenever time I see an actress that I like or an actor that I like in a movie, I tend to try to look for their names. That's how important it is to me. So I know who look for, and especially when I need a reference point for a character design. Like say for instance, I have a character. One of my characters is their design is based around the girl from Kingsman. Her look is based around her, even though she's a wolf, an anthropomorphic wolf. Some of her likeness and proportions are directly based off of that actress. Sophie Cookson, her name is. Most of my characters are based around actors that I like. That's why names are important to me. So like whenever time I want to go back for a reference, I'll look up their names. But you only know actors. You probably remember actors if they have a big impact on you, Fiona. Like Michael Fassbender, of course. Like if like who wouldn't forget Michael Fassbender? He's like the it guy for almost every lady. Like every time I mention him, women melt. Like yeah, he's got it. He's got that. But for Chris, it would have to be okay. Okay. I'm hesitant to pick Channing Tatum for Chris Redfield. He can have the voice for him, but I'm a little worried because sometimes I don't see. I tend to not be able to see Channing Tatum as an action star that much. It's too much. He's still too much of that pretty boy. He does a fine job when he tries to be, but he would be my first pick for Chris Redfield. Um, maybe Chris Evans again. He's got to sort out his own crap. Maybe another MCU actor. Maybe Sebastian Stan. Again, Winter Soldier or dang, what's his name? I can't fit Paul Rudd in. Maybe Ryan Reynolds. Maybe as Chris Redfield. Probably so. But those probably been my pick for Chris Redfield. Yeah, I thought this was gonna be a little bit easier than Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7 was easy. That was easy. This is difficult. Barry is no brainer. It will definitely be either David Arbor again, the guy who played the reboot Hellboy and Stranger Things, the deputy, I believe. David Arbor would have been Barry, or it would have been what's his name? What's his name? I can't tell. We'll just stick with David Arbor for Barry. Wesker again. I have to go with probably Michael Fassbender, maybe, or or maybe we can get the guy who played him in Afterlife back because he looked the part. We can get the guy who played him in Afterlife back. I don't know his name. Yeah, I was making that saying the names were important. Like, nah, but I can't remember the guy who played Wesker in Afterlife for the life of me. He'll been good Wesker still. If he if he can stretch a bit, I don't know. Or maybe no, he's too old. He's too old. I was gonna say Johnny from Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid, but he's too old. He might work. He might work. You don't. We'll never know. He might work. Um, is that all the enemies in? Yeah, because it's only Wesker. I don't think there was ever a big enemy in the first Resident Evil. It was just Wesker working behind the scenes. There was not really much. That's like when you get to, like, say for instance Resident Evil Zero and yeah, Resident Evil Zero. That's when you get like big enemies that were connected to the mansion incident, like Spencer. His name was, what's that other dude name was? That was the Leech Queen. I just watched the playthrough of Resident Evil Zero and I forgot his name. But then again, he wasn't that big of a villain, anyways, or at least he wasn't that impactful of a villain to be remembered. But yeah, Leon, going back to not Channing Tatum, Charlie Hunnam as Leon. Yep, he would have been my pick for Leon. Or if I wanted to keep him, if I wanted to really go for youthful, definitely Dylan O'Brien if he's willing to wear a somewhat. Hello, Melissa Harris. Uh, you kind of missed the good spots. I'm just sitting here rambling on about film casting for video game movies now. I already said my piece about the Monster Hunter movie trailer that popped in. I already said my piece. Now I'm just talking about film casting and what I would do to write video game movies, how I would write them, how I would cast them, and everything. Me being a fan and all. Um, yeah, so we're talking about Resident Evil movies, how I would write them. I've already given my spiel about how I would start out the Resident Evil how would have plotted out my Resident Evil movies. And I'm going with if I had to cast people to cast to be main characters from the games. So far I've for Jill Valentine, I would pick Adrian Pilecki, the Mockingbird from Agents of Shield, Maria Hill, and Lady Sif. Those were been my top picks for casting of Jill Valentine. For Chris Redfield, Channing Tatum. Did I say I said Channing Tatum, and maybe Fiona. Remind me who did I say for who were my two picks for Chris Redfield? Let me know in the comments. Wesker would have been Michael Fassbender for sure, and David Arbor, the guy who played in Stranger Things, for Barry Burton. Those would be my top picks for the first Resident Evil movie if I had to start with the mansion incident. For the sequel, if I had to start off with Resident Evil 2, so far Charlie Hunnam, the guy who played in Pacific Rim, the guy who pilots Gypsy Danger in Sons of Anarchy, he would have been my pick for Leon. Now for Claire, maybe Jennifer Lawrence, maybe, or it would have been mm, yep. I'll probably have to stick with Jennifer Lawrence for now till I can think of another actress that could probably play Claire. For Sherry, That's go. Yeah, Cher would have to probably be aged up because she's a child in the game in both versions of the games, the remake and the original. She's a child. She probably would have to be aged up a bit because it's gonna be hard to be doing the business hiring a child actor, especially when it comes to the way how people's perception of hiring child actors to act nowadays. So I'll have to play it safe and hire an actress to play a teenage girl. Maybe Haley Steinfeld probably would play her maybe because she's good at playing teenage girls despite her actual age. If you don't know who Haley Steinfeld is, she was the lead actress in Bumblebee, and she was in addition to the third Pitch Perfect movie and Edge of 17. That's who that actress was. Um, Maybe Saoirse Ronan, the girl who played in that terrible Stephanie Meyer movie called The Host, and she was also in Lady Bird, which I still need to watch because I hear that's a really good movie. She was also in Hannah, this one movie that they made a series out of called Hannah, where she was bleach blonde in that one, and she was with Eric Bana, the guy who played Hulk in the Hulk 2003 movie. There was a lot of things going on in 2003. That was like the best year for movies. Now that I think about it, that was the best year for movies. In spite of what happened in 2001, sadly. Yeah, that was a good year for movies. We had Spider-Man, I believe, X-Men, the Hulk. I think the Hulk came in 2004 though. I'm not sure. Yeah, y'all can correct me if you. Anybody who happens upon this can correct me in the comments. I don't mind people correcting me. I've been corrected so many times, and I don't take offense of it either. Just be nice about it though. Just be nice about it. Oh, I know about Lady Hawk, Fiona. You have a good night. If I end the stream, you have a good night and enjoy your dinner. Yeah, I seen Lady Hawk. That's one of my favorite. Rothgar Hauer. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. It's one of my favorite of his movies. That and Flesh Plus Blood and Blade Runner. Love this line. Love his scenes in Blade Runner. But I did love Lady Hawk. I saw that as a kid. I love Lady Hawk. Uh, William Birkin probably would cast. Ooh, I'm getting a little tired here. Let me swig this monster real quick. Mm. So for William Birkin, it would be probably yeah, that would be difficult to probably would have been I would pick the guy who played Mr. Hyde from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or Doug Jones from all the Hellboy movies and basically all the most of the prosthetic makeup he done. Doug Jones would probably his almost his acting career where he's playing as himself before he becomes a monster. At least Doug Jones would probably be my next pick. For Annette would be hmm Annette would probably be played by maybe Michelle Pfeiffer, maybe Charlize Theron. For named actors, I mean. I'll probably cast an unknown for Annette Birkin though. But again, it would be original Annette Birkin, not remake. I do not. again, back to my stance about the remake. I do not like the characters in the remakes. I don't even like remake Annette Birkin in Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 2 remake. I mean, that was a terrible portrayal of her. And even if she didn't really do much in the original game, that was a terrible portrayal of Annette Birkin. Um, Chief Irons will be difficult to cast, and nobody's helping me in the comments. But that's good. I mean, it's fine if you guys do, but I'm so glad I'm actually doing this on my own because you guys get to hear how my mind works. Yeah, I actually, Melissa, I did catch that on Twitter, but I did not know he was also ruining Mr. Miracle of all people. Why would you mess up Mr. Miracle? He's my top 10 favorite superhero couples. He's at the top too. Him and Big Barda. Second is maybe Peter Parker and Mary Jane before One More Day. But like so far, like the only couple superhero couple that I love thus far is Mr. Miracle and Big Barda. But yeah, I heard about the Rorschach thing, and I'm not too happy about that either. He needs to get fired. Think there should be a clean slate. If there's supposed to be a clean slate in the industry, just get rid of people who is not helping you make money. That's where you clean slate that. If they're not making, if my mother always said this, if it don't make money, it don't make sense. If it don't make money, I'm gonna repeat this. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. And I do believe in that saying. If it ain't making money, it doesn't make sense. So if anybody's not making you money, you need to get rid of them. Because that's basically the whole point of having a job is to make money. That's the point of being. It's one thing I learned about working at a movie theater alone. Make sales. You gotta make money. So yeah, I'm surprised he has been that dude hasn't been fired from all the failed projects he's done. And I don't know why DC is not seeking religion on that. Like they're not. These writers are not making you money. You need to get rid of them. Get somebody in who's going to make you money. But other than that, that's just stupid. Um, yeah, Chief Irons probably will be played by I'm sorry, going back to my casting. Yeah, I don't want to turn this into a whole DC talk. I'm still trying to keep this on video games and video game movies. Casey Scott, I just want to shed a little light on Melissa's comment. But yeah, Chief Irons will probably, like I said, back to the Resident Evil casting, probably would have been mm, you know who would have been a good Chief Irons? The guy who's playing Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU. That's what I have as Chief Irons. He wouldn't have to be slimely evil like Chief Irons is, but he would have been all out just effed up in his own way. But I see you guys are dropping off now, so I might as well end this stream right now. I've said my piece already. Had a little fun with it here and there. So I might as well just end it right now, and you guys can enjoy the rest of your day. Hop on the Professor stream later on. I think Professor Geek is doing another book study about the Halloween tree. I believe Troy is also doing his own gig Saturday. I believe he's doing Hellraiser 2. Sundays you'll catch me with Mr. Matchstick with our we watch of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The next two episodes I believe we're watching. I think it's episodes 5 and 6, maybe. Um, Also keep in mind that I'm also doing a rewatch of Starship Troopers on the 25th of October, the usual time, which is 8 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock California time, or Pacific, I believe it. You would want to call it. Um, Tune into Sound Engraver. Oh, hey there, Sound Engraver. There you go. Tune into Sound Engraver's channel, which is her Monday Muse. Every Monday, her Monday Muse. I believe she'll have something cooked up next Monday, hopefully. Tuesday will be the professor's analysis watch of The Wolfman, which will be my area of expertise. The I hope I'll be there for that one. I'll make sure I'll be there. Uh, Rolling back to Sunday, there's also a study hall with Papacelli and Age Boomer with guests. I don't know who, or maybe just them, maybe just those two for now. I don't know, but you guys can tune in. And Wednesday will be Green Lion Girls streaming of maybe Hitman. I don't know if she's still doing Hitman or maybe she's doing another game. And then there's also Daniel Heron again. Shout out to my boy Daniel Heron for his birthday with his stream about movie music and analyzing the music in the movie with Age Boomer, I believe. So take care, guys. Ow!